All right, welcome back, everybody. And today we're actually, for the first time ever, all together in the studio here. That's right, all hanging out here at the studio. The studio, right, Jay?
You just see beside my exercise bike?
Yeah, there you go. That's pretty much what I use it for, too. I just hang my coat on it. But no, we figured for episode 50 and the fact this is our last episode of the year, what better way to get together in the holiday spirit, Max.
Yeah, with the rice cooker behind me or whatever that is. The chop shop.
Yeah, and record an episode here together. And this is a collaborative effort here in terms of this pick, I would say, right, Julie?
Yeah.
So me and I'd reached out to Julie a little behind the scenes because she couldn't make the last episode. So she couldn't make the last episode, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna pick a Christmas movie for our last pick of the year because it is December. Here's a few I was thinking of picking from, and I was like, and instead of giving everybody on the show a list of like 20 different movies like Max did last time.
Yeah, as opposed to being courteous and giving people the option, I'll just be like, "Yo, I'll pick it. Fuck you."
No, but I just wanted a second opinion, so I did it that way because I was gonna come and bring a list as well, like you did. But I reached out to Julie and I was like, "What do you think? Which one would you pick out of these?" And I threw her like 5 different Christmas movies, right? Some ones that people think of Christmas movies, some other ones that
with
people
no bias. I might add.
Right.
He did not tell me which one he wanted.
No.
Oh, okay.
Right. So then, as soon as she's like Jingle All the Way, I was like, secretly, that is the one I wanted to pick. But
I'm curious what else is on that list.
I didn't think people were gonna, everyone was gonna be into it. So, but the fact that I at least had one ally here in this pick,
I got you back.
Yeah.
How come she got the list and we didn't? What is this special treatment?
Listen, listen.
Sexism.
I see. Yeah, for real, it is, yo. HR.
HR.
Don't be upset. Don't be upset.
I feel a little left out.
You'll never know what's on the list because it may come around next year again. We never know, right? So
I couldn't help but feel like some of that other stuff had been on the list before.
No. Surprisingly, listen, everyone knows if it was up to me, every pick would be an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie on this podcast. I mean, let's be honest. Me and Jay have already done
awesome.
We've already done Total Recall, which is one of my favorite Arnold movies ever.
That's so good.
And listen, the reason
Arnold, man, do your voice, bro. Come on.
It's coming. It's coming.
Right.
It's not the best Arnold impression, but I'll do it. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. So listen, it's Christmas. I figured we pick a Christmas movie, and for me, this is a Christmas classic. Honestly, it is. And my history with the film is I was 9 years old when this movie came out. Okay, 9 years old when this movie came out. Just to put it in perspective, I was a huge Arnold fan, and I remember watching it. After I had seen it initially in grade 5. We did like one of those around the holidays. Like it was one of those days where I think we're just, eating snacks and like watching movies and not really doing work. I think it's before the break. And they threw this movie on. And I think for whatever reason, I remember that memory and it really solidified this movie for me, like for how much I enjoyed it, because I got to enjoy it with all of my classmates at that time, right? and having already seen it and being a fan of the movie when we rewatched it in class together, I just, realized that everybody else was enjoying it, at that time as well. And then I think from there on, as I got older and I continued to be an Arnold fan, this is just one of those movies that I ended up owning. And funny enough, I've watched this movie probably more than any other of his films at this point because I watch it every Christmas, right?
Right.
I watch. This is part of the the lineup of movies I watch every Christmas. When me and Christine, we own a bunch of them, and they're all on streaming now, these movies. But you got to watch The Grinch, you got to watch Christmas Story, you got to watch Christmas Vacation. Like these are just movies I watch every year around the holidays, right? I know not everyone's a fan of the holidays, but despite that, I still find this to be a very entertaining movie. Like I said, I've rewatched it every year. I have fun repeating the lines even outside of watching the film to people. So I picked it because I love it. And like I said, because Julie also spoke to me about it, right? So how about you, Julie? Let's pass it around here. If you have any history with this movie in that regard, I'm sure you do, because like I said, Julie was the person who was like, let's pick this one. So I'm excited to hear why.
Perhaps not quite as extensive as yours, but so it came out in 99, is that what?
Yeah, so this movie came out in 1996.
96. Okay,
yeah,
so
and Chris Columbus is one of the people, that was involved with this film, who was also involved with Home Alone.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's not the writer or director of this film, but he was involved. Yeah, there's a producer on it.
Right?
So like that was a kind of a big deal too going into this, is that they had him somewhat involved after the success of Home Alone. There's actually some interesting fun facts behind the scene type of stories with this film too, we can get into later on, which I actually just found out for the first time upon doing kind of some research on this movie. So I never knew these things.
So okay, when this movie came out, then I was 4. So I wouldn't have seen it probably when it first came out. Maybe I did. Maybe I saw it early on, but I can remember having seen it when I was a kid. It was just like a beloved Christmas movie between my brothers and I. We used to quote a lot of the lines from the movie. Like just I think even throughout the year, maybe not exclusively to even Christmas time. Like it's just such a funny, weird, quotable movie. So I think it probably just like resonated with me like that my brothers and I would just like parrot weird lines to each other from this movie.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a huge part of the movie necessarily, but like that opening scene where they're showing like a tidbit from the show to give context for what the fucking main theme of the movie is, like the whole bit where they're showing Turbo Man, like this little scene from the TV show, takes me back to like the fucking Power Rangers campy show era.
Yeah.
That's basically what this is. Yeah, and
Totally.
and for anybody who doesn't know, like the Power Rangers when they came out with those toys, that was like a pain in the ass toy to get. Like my parents went through this whole Turbo Man kind of thing when I was younger. I wanted the Green Ranger. They could not get me the Green Ranger. I got the Red Ranger. I got the
blue. The Green Ranger.
The Green Ranger is the best. What are you talking about? He turned to the White Ranger. Please.
I like the red. I like the red one.
Everyone wanted the red Ranger.
I didn't end up getting the red. I feel like because I couldn't get the green one. That was that toy that year. No, green was like the
one.
At least for my school. Like I dressed up as him as Halloween at Halloween. Like the green. Because then he turned Tommy. He turned into the White Ranger too. Honestly, like Peter is the same. Peter is Green Ranger. Like that's what I mean because we sometimes talk Power Rangers like that. So,
I feel like
which one's my brother? Wait,
I don't know. I don't know what his favorite was. I just know.
I know he loved them all.
Nazim's was green. Like, oh no, he was blue. Sorry, I take that back. Yeah, because he went to school with me at that time. So like he dressed up as a Blue Ranger. I dressed up as the Green Ranger that year. No, that's
you guys were all fighting over who was.
Exactly. No, Power Rangers was a shit back in the day. I used to love Power Rangers. So that's what this is.
It reminds me of that, like because the fucking like the demon team.
They're the putties. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like he looks like it very much reminds me of the Power Rangers era of television and kids shows.
Yeah.
So like, and my brothers were really into all of those shows, so it has this pretty big nostalgia factor for me, just speaking to that era of TV and like childhood stuff, and like I think it's also playing to like just like the frenzied shopping for Christmas and toys, and like there's Beanie Babies, Cabbage Patch Kids, all those fucking like different eras, but same shit. It's the same.
I think they did a Bud Light
frenzied buying.
Buzz Lightyear was like that, and
Lightyear,
fucking Elmo and all that crap.
So it just has this nostalgia factor to me because it's specifically because of the connect to Power Rangers. I feel like for me,
right? No, I'm glad you caught that because like I feel like that has only kind of came to me, I think, years later after having watched it. I don't even know if I recognized that at the time when this had come out.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was geared towards like my, sense like what I was into at that time. Yeah. I just kind of like accepted it.
Just a product of its era.
Also, the other big thing for the studios and Arnold himself, when I watched a couple of behind the scenes interviews of him talking about this movie, was the fact that he was playing a superhero. Like this was him, his Arnold being a hero, essentially, guys, like as Turbo Man, like essentially, which back then, we didn't have the Marvel movies like that, like we do now. Right. So like, I think they thought like, cause Arnold is like this big, big dude and whatever. And he's known as an action star, that there was a lot of movies around that time where he started to kind of play these type of characters, Last Action Hero, this movie, like they're, this larger than life type of characters. As we get into it, one of my other favorite things about this movie too is the sense that Arnold wasn't afraid to do these comedies. Like a lot of the action stars of his day, they tried it out, they weren't as successful at it. He kind of leaned into it. Like he kind of accepted, I feel like, the fact and understood that his unintentional comedy, like him being in these type of movies, worked. Like this is on Disney Plus, this movie still. Like this is still, I think, by many people still discovering it today. I honestly do think this is a Christmas classic. Like you might, there is absolutely some corny moments in this movie, as Jay likes to kind of always harp on when we do these type of picks. But
Listen, I don't think it's a good movie. I like it anyway. That's what I feel.
no, but like
there was a lot going on in this
Yeah.
movie.
but even for me, I think like the last 20 minutes, as soon as he gets in that suit, it's ridiculous. Like, yeah, it's I'm not even gonna justify that, but everything up to that point is still honestly, in my opinion, hilarious. Like I think he's knocking it out of the park in this one. Not only him, the other people in this film too. Sinbad kills it in this film. I don't even care. Sinbad's hilarious in this movie, and Phil Hartman's in this movie.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, Phil Hartman's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that character.
So
he's so funny in this movie.
how about you, Jay? How about you? Your history?
Well, I mean, okay, if you guys put it in that perspective, I was 15. I really didn't give a fuck about watching a movie about no. That's when when I was 15, about
That's fair,
the superhero father and all that bullshit, right? But honestly, I can, and also I was of a different age, so a little bit older, so I was more focused on the ladies out there, right?
I think a lot of people are at that age. Yeah, it's okay.
So, yeah, I had just found my penis a couple years prior to that, and obviously, Christmas and all the movies just fell underneath the rug. But no, I had seen it one time originally. And it was kind of like, at that age, not for me. I went back to watch it this time. I can understand why it would be for some people. I can understand the positive message that it's trying to give out in a sense, and it's different. It's just it's a different look at it. I guess just growing up makes you think, fuck,
right?
Not everybody's perfect, right? There you go.
But as Julie mentioned, this kind of does identify with the whole theme of the stress during the holidays that can bring, and the toy shopping, and the toy aspect. Honestly, the hot toy of the season, which I think thematically, I think are things that still ring true to this day around the holidays. So that's why I think this movie works. Like if you get past all like the Arnold,
but it plays for all those moments. No, but it plays for all those moments.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, if you really sit there and you're analyzing it, like watching movies now, you start to see that it's actually touching on a lot of bases, and it's also touching on, an early Arnold Schwarzenegger, in a sense, where he's still got a heavy accent at that time.
No, this is like 30 years in his career. What are you talking about?
But he still had a heavy. I mean, maybe
he never got rid of it. He never got rid of it.
But really, this is living his way of it looks like living the American dream.
Because this is pre-Governor. This is kind of this. He only had like maybe 2-3 really good years here after this, and that was it for him in terms of.
Once it went to the kids' movies and stuff like that.
Well, it's not just that. Like he had some other action films after this, but then they just weren't as good. And then I think shortly after that, he became governor, right?
Yeah.
So it's this was kind of the tail end.
So this is after Total Recall.
This is after this is after T2. This is the mid 90s, right?
Yeah.
So like by early 2000s, he was done essentially, like in terms of like his big film roles, right?
Yeah.
Like he would show up in the Expendables and stuff after he wasn't governor anymore. Actually, I think he was governor still in Expendables 1, if I'm not mistaken. He had a short cameo in that where he even made a comment about being governor. Or he's like, I used to be a governor or something. I forgot what he said.
There it is, guys.
But Max, how about you? You have any history with this film?
Not as deep as any of your guys, because I only saw this movie for the first time like 3 years ago, I think.
Okay.
So I was randomly
I have questions about that. Only 3 years. 3 years ago.
I actually didn't really know about this movie. Like I just totally slipped under my radar. Maybe I saw like a clip of it when it was playing on TV back in the day, but I just wasn't really fully aware of it. And then I just was randomly like checking out a bunch of Arnold movies, rewatching some stuff that I'd seen, some I hadn't, like mostly his action stuff. Like, so I just was just going through them, like Commando and Total Recall and True Lies and stuff like that. Yeah, I love those movies.
I'm gonna get to my Arnold top 5 later, by the way. I'm just letting you know right now.
Nice. And then so I saw this movie and I was like, okay. And it was around the Christmas time, so I was like, okay, let me see this. Let me watch this. I watched it with my brother to see if maybe like it was like a kids kind of comedy movie. Maybe he'd
Your
be
brother's younger,
much younger than me. Yeah, so I thought maybe he'd be into it. And so we watched it and we had a good time with it. It was funny and we were both laughing. There's some funny quotes in this movie for sure, funny moments. And then that was the only time I'd ever seen it. I've only had to just revisit it now just because of this show. Yeah, I mean it's cool. It's a nice movie. I like it. It's definitely of the time period, and I mean that like in a good way.
Yeah.
It's like you don't really see like movies that are so like wacky and cartoony, like that kind of go for it. Like kind of just like, hey, let's just dispense the belief or whatever, you know, like, and let's just kind of go for that. And then I also just thinking back, like how much of an anomaly is, like how much of a rare thing is it for a superstar like Arnold Schwarzenegger, where you have like a guy who has like that thick of a foreign accent and he's like the most bankable like star
Yeah.
in Hollywood. Like I don't think that'll ever happen again. Like who's clearly not an American,
No.
and yet he's like everybody wants to see his
Playing
movies.
a fucking dude named Howard
Right.
Langdon.
Well, that's
Come on.
that's a very
Yeah, yeah.
Arnold name, though. That's
Yeah.
a very. There's a Thomas Aquinas is one of his names, and one of his.
But-
he always has these whack ass names. Yeah.
But a lot of his movies, like even maybe outside of the Terminator ones, they have like comedic elements in it here
Yeah.
and there. Like he's always been a very,
Unintentional comedy a lot of the
yeah.
times. Though.
So he's always been kind of like True Lies, especially is like an action comedy. Like,
Right.
it's very comedic. That film.
absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
So yeah, like so I for him to kind of do, he pulls off comedy very well.
He
I have to
does.
say that, like much better than
Out of all of those action stars of those days, the best. I feel like
Probably,
yeah, I
probably.
honestly think so. Like, who else is funnier than him during his?
I think Stallone did a bunch
No.
of comedies, but I don't know if
Not
they
good,
landed
though.
them.
Yeah.
They really stuck the.
Rocky's only funny because he's such a dummy in those movies, like at times, right? But
Yeah.
it's not supposed to be. That's again, more.
Doesn't he have one? I've never seen it. Does he have a movie where he enters like an arm wrestling competition or
That's
something?
over the top.
Is that a comedy?
No,
It's not. It's like
it's
a serious.
just super cheesy. Yeah.
Okay.
So again, unintentional comedy.
Yeah, unintentional
but,
comedy.
But like
Gotcha.
Arnold really kind of leaned into it, where he went full comedy in a few of his
Right.
his films, right? So yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like a nice little Christmas movie. For me personally, my taste, I'm not too into like Christmas movies in general. I don't know what it is about them. They kind of all follow some
Formula.
formula for me that I'm
Yeah.
just kind of like whatever, like kind of
Yeah.
just like I can kind of do with or without them.
Was this
But I don't
straight
hate
to
them.
VHS or was this?
No,
No, this
no
was in
way,
theaters. This
no
was-
way,
Yeah,
no way.
yeah,
Arnold
yeah.
is straight. This is
No.
not his straight to
This
VHS.
was in it.
era.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Well, now I think of it.
If
I'm
he even
like, this
has
would
one
have
of
been
those.
One of those straight to DVD movies. I feel like, but yeah.
No.
I didn't
No
know
way,
that
no
actually
way.
was in
I actually
theaters.
think this might be like the last relevant good movie he was in, because I think he makes Batman and Robin,
Oh, true. I
After
forgot about
this,
that.
Yeah.
and then that's it, and then Terminator 3, and then he becomes governor.
And
So
he also did Collateral Damage, which sucks. 6th Day, which is not that great.
this might be like the last. This might be the tail end of his
Yeah.
golden age. I feel
It is.
like, you know.
It is absolutely. Yeah. I mean, again, how depending how you feel about Batman and Robin, I know we're also
I like
both fans about it. I know.
Yeah.
I've
But
never
it's-
seen
It's
it.
shit, but I like it. Like it's yeah.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people shit on it. I've never actually seen it. He plays Mr. Freeze,
He
right?
does.
Yeah,
He
Yeah.
does.
You never seen it?
never seen
It's
it. Never seen it all the way through. Like,
again, I enjoy it.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so do I.
Those Batmans were interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
I can't fault anyone for thinking it's
No.
a piece of shit. Though,
No,
you
no.
know what I mean?
I only found out it was a piece of shit like years later when I'm on the internet, and then
Yeah.
people hear it. But then you look at those movies and you never like think that they have that horrible reputation, but I guess they do.
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
that
like-
movie was bad,
you know?
not well received when it came out. I
Yeah.
remember, and then they stopped making Batman movies till the
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, that they stopped after that movie. They were like, "Yeah, I think that's it for these Batman movies."
So
Yeah. So, anyways,
yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on it.
Yeah.
So.
all right. So things that this movie did right for me. I felt like, again, I think we touched on some of this already. The most important themes that this movie touched on were the stress related to the holidays and everything that entails, the pressures associated with being a good father, especially like for during a kid's childhood, like his informative years, where like something like this, as they talk about in this, like with Sinbad's character, he'll grow up and have like a chip on his shoulder and have like bad memories of his childhood and Christmas, and then be a bad father to his kids. So like that's kind of what Arnold was struggling with at some of the more serious parts of this movie, let's say.
Generational trauma.
Yeah.
Funny, a bunch of us here that don't have kids or anything like that. It's,
I know.
They're thinking about it, right? It's kind
Well,
of weird
listen,
that we're
this
talking
is-
about it.
this
It's
is-
true though.
I mean, this is what the movie's trying to tell
Yeah.
you, right? Anyways, so, but you're right. We don't have experience with that personally, but, and then the craziness that could occur by trying to purchase that season's hot toy. That's the other big theme, like we just kind of touched on. There's a good supporting comedic cast, as we mentioned, Phil Hartman, Sinbad, Jim Belushi as the Santa Claus.
Oh
which
yeah,
was
that
really
was
great.
him. Yeah,
That was
yeah.
really good.
They got that little guy, the little one from. Is he from Bad Santa too?
Well, he's
He was in Seinfeld. That one,
he's
yeah.
on Seinfeld. He was with Kramer.
Yeah.
He was
his
Kramer.
acting partner.
That's
or whatever.
right. That's right. And also Troy Werner, what was his name? The guy who was Mini-Me's in this as well. He's the one that
I'm
gets
right here.
punched.
Vernon Troyer,
the one that gets punched that goes flying. It's like, my little
That's
buddy. And you guess who that is?
That's my favorite
is?
movie.
You know who that is? The big fat guy?
That's Paul White.
It's Big Show, the wrestler.
Oh, wrestler. Okay.
Yeah.
I was
the Big Show.
wrestling.
The Big Show.
Yeah, I know the Big Show is. No,
That's
I was like, I kind of knew. I recognized somehow the face, but it just.
Check your holes, bub.
Yeah, with the fucking suspenders.
And he punches it. That's Vernon Troyer that goes flying.
Fuck.
That's my favorite scene, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, good supporting characters. Like I said, like a good comedic cast around Arnold. Also, that's what's his name's wife that plays his wife, Rita Wilson, Tom Hanks' wife. Yeah,
that's his wife. That's Tom Hanks' wife.
Yeah.
Oh,
she kind of phones this one
and
in.
Fucking
honestly.
Anakin Skywalker is the kid.
That's right.
Yeah.
From episode 1.
He looks like the same kid that was in Big Daddy with fucking.
No,
that's Cole Sprouse.
No,
but they kind of look the same. That similar.
But yeah, that is the kid from episode 1, though. Yeah. That's pretty great.
Anakin.
Yeah, Anakin from episode 1. I put Arnold, unlike other action stars, as I just mentioned, is able to kind of find the pocket that works for him in order to kind of do these comedies, be funny, but also, unintentionally funny at times. Not only that, but he puts himself in a position to put himself into a Christmas classic comedy. Like he was really good at picking his roles, Arnold, as well, like kind of figuring out how he would work in to certain things. Like there's even some stories I had heard about him on certain films. I don't know if it was true lot. There's things where he took points on them and made like shitloads of money as a result instead of getting paid for the movie because people weren't sure that it was going to work. And then Arnold's like, no, this movie is going to work. And then he would get involved in it and actually take points on the percentage of what they made at the box office instead of getting paid for it. Like, and he would make more money as a result if it was a big hit that way. Because sometimes stars, they have enough to like power to do this kind of thing, right? Like.
This is one of those ones that you would see every year. So regardless, he's going to be making.
That's a nice way to ensure that
a timeless, a timeless classic or a timeless whatever.
Well, again, none of these guys have that a Christmas comedy classic like any of the other action stars of his day. Like as far as I know, we're not going to see Stallone in a Christmas classic movie. You're not going to see Van Damme.
I would love to see that though.
Yeah, so
Expandables, the Christmas version.
That's a good way to make sure the production gets paid if you're already fucking well off. That's I didn't know that. That's cool.
I don't know if he did it for this movie, but like, he's done it for other. Like, yes. Yeah. And then, like I mentioned, as people are able to revisit and discover for the first time every year, it's on Disney Plus. Did
you watch this movie on Disney Plus
this year? Yeah,
this year
I did.
So okay, I did too, but I noticed the ending scene has been cut out.
Where his wife asked her about her present.
Did you notice that? Why is that edited out?
No, it comes after the credits.
Oh,
yes.
So I was like, fuck.
So did you ever see this scene?
Probably.
But in the other version, it's not. In the non-Disney Plus version, it's not.
You're right. It's actually in the end.
Why is that changed?
So there's a scene at the end of the movie, which normally is in the regular movie, as Max just mentioned. But in the Disney Plus, if you stream it from there, they have it after the credits.
Why did they remake?
It's like a stinger kind of moment where the wife turns around and is like, "Oh, well, I wonder what you got me for Christmas." And
I seen it.
All the trouble you went through for our son or whatever. And then he has like this same zoom in moment where I was like, "Oh no, my wife."
But it's like part 2's coming.
Yeah. What's fucking hilarious about that is when we were watching it the other night, Levi was like, "We don't need to sit through the credits. This isn't a fucking Marvel movie." And I forgot about that scene. It was at the fucking end.
Is that why they did that? To like Marvel?
It's not Disney. It's not Disney.
So that would make sense why they did.
I didn't know Disney.
I totally forgot about that.
Well, it keeps people watching the credits too, regardless.
I didn't know Disney had that kind of like. They did that thing where they like edit their movie like that. That's crazy.
There's a lot of shit that they've like edited for time and
stuff. That's like I feel like that's like artistic violation.
No, but they need to get the I think they need to get the credits in too as well. Like
why?
Why not?
Does the watch time matter?
Why?
Because the people that
if you've seen the movie up until the credits, they've already made their money off like it's all the usage. So like
they want to see the credits. They want the people to read who was in the fucking movie. Nobody's gonna read it, but if you stay there, they're gonna probably have a better chance of looking at who's doing things.
Because
layman doesn't care.
Because I saw the movie like first on not on Disney Plus, like on like whatever on
VHS.
other channel, pirated it or whatever. But that's what I do. And then
How dare you?
Who
so
does that these days?
What?
I know. Don't knock down
You're
my
on the
door.
naughty
BS.
list. That's it.
Late Chat Network does not endorse that.
Fucking-
But anyways, go ahead.
But
Lump of coal for this guy.
I
man.
do. So what's it called? So I watched it, like that's how I watched it. And then I go on Disney Plus and I watched it like 2 days ago. And the ending is like Arnold gets swept away by the crowd or whatever. And I was like, that's kind of a shitty ending. I don't like that ending at all. Because like the whole movie, he's trying to reconnect with his son.
And then they
And
take
then
him away
just
from
for
his
him-
family.
I'm like, what kind of an ending is that? And I totally forgot that they have an extra scene.
Yes.
And then later I went on like a streaming site or whatever and just like admitting to all this shit. And then I watched the actual ending and I was like, why did Disney like rearrange this whole thing? Like this makes
they
no
had it as
sense.
a stinger at the end.
That makes no sense to me.
kinda
I can
like-
see why they do it. I told you. I think
And you know what's funny is like there's all this in what's the kid's name? What's his son's name? I know it's
Jamie.
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 His bedroom has all this Marvel shit in
It's
there.
a sick bedroom.
He's got
It's a
like
sick
was
bedroom.
that your bedroom?
When
growing
I was
up?
Bro,
younger,
this
I-
is
I
Nico's wet
wish
dream.
That was my
Yeah,
bedroom.
that was Nico's
House
wet
is
dream.
Crazy,
It's a nice
man.
house.
Yeah.
Bro, he's selling those mattresses. This guy's a
This-
successful.
Okay,
No,
yeah,
we're getting
yeah,
to that. We're getting to
this.
that. We're getting to that.
Man, I was-
What?
Yeah.
No, we're saving that. We're saving
Okay,
that.
good.
So
We gotta come back to that.
So when he has his bedroom, he's got like Captain America on the background. He's got like a wolf, like he's got all the characters on the pillow and stuff or whatever.
He's got the Jack Kirby Captain America.
Yeah,
picture
yeah,
on the
yeah.
wall.
He's got a
Yeah,
bunch
yeah,
of
yeah.
stuff on there. And then so I'm like, whoa. And then so I'm thinking to myself, is this like Disney trying to like reclaim everything that wasn't Marvel before?
Actually,
They
good
bought
point.
Marvel.
No, but Max,
Like,
this
to
was
make
a
it
Fox,
into-
I'm pretty sure this is a Fox film, which is now owned by Disney.
Yeah.
That's why, because back in the day, there wasn't
So-
Disney, right?
They had a lot of licensed characters in
Because you
this.
know how like Disney is trying to like Marvel like
Those are TV
is trying to
show
like
characters.
The
retroactively
parade
go
and
back
stuff?
and reclaim those properties and then like reintegrate into their.
No, that was always in the film. That was always his room.
I know that's always in his film, but I mean like I'm talking about like the corny post-credit
Oh,
shit. Like
yeah.
is that like now it's a
Yeah, probably.
Now it's the
Fucking
Marvels.
problem.
Yeah.
Arnold
We
Schwarzenegger
own
will
this
return,
now.
right?
Yeah.
Like in
Right, you're right. In Doomsday or what is it called? Doom War or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so-
Arnold will return in Avengers Infinity War. Turbo Man. You imagine?
yeah.
Oh,
Turbo
man.
Man will return,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah. It's turbo time. Screw you, Thanos.
It's a cheap. It's just like
Honestly, I'd watch it.
me
Yeah.
too.
Saying, I'm not a pervert.
no Turbo Man. Turbo Man is like a cross between like Iron Man and fucking.
Yeah, he
Flash.
does have like an iron.
Iron
Yeah,
Man
it's
color
totally
code.
Yeah.
You know?
the
Iron
red,
Man
the
is
red,
You get in there
the red and gold.
and
You
the
know?
Flash.
And Flash, oh yeah.
But yeah,
Totally
what else
Iron
did I
Man.
have about this?
I knew there's two things in this one that I knew that for sure
Arnold is my
made
Iron
made
Man.
a Nico's fucking thing. I made him even the personality he is today when you see us in the other studio with all his fucking comics and all his everything that he's doing, right? It's because of seeing his favorite fucking actor and also all his favorite superheroes
hurt.
around being I was gonna say 9 o'clock, but
Yeah.
9, yeah.
9
Yeah, it's almost
Yeah.
9 o'clock. Spirit.
It certainly didn't hurt. That's for sure, right? It
No,
certainly
yeah,
didn't hurt,
it just-
right? So,
This totally made sense why you picked it, and in my head too. when
yeah, I was a fan.
overthinking it.
I was a fan of that stuff even back
It's
then.
Mr.
right?
Christmas
So,
over here.
That's right.
Yeah.
I got a tree behind me.
Look at
Right?
this
Mr. Christmas. I'm his little elf on the shelf, everybody. He tickles me in the morning.
The other thing too about Arnold is that he wasn't also afraid to get his ass kicked sometimes in movies. No, it's
No,
true. Like he kind of like some of these action stars, especially even today.
He doesn't have the Vin Diesel contract.
Exactly.
Oh.
If you hear about what's going on with The Rock and like
I'm not allowed to
Vin
get
Diesel-
punched.
Vin Diesel has a little
Yeah.
squeaky voice. I mean, like I'd be defending myself all the time too if I talk like that.
what's Stallone? No, not Stallone. Seagal had the same, I think, rule back in the days
Oh
that he
my
couldn't
God.
get beat up in his movies or
Yeah.
something like that. Like it
Like,
had
as an optics? Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Even
what?
Rocky got beat,
Yeah.
man.
Oh
Yeah,
my
like what the
God.
fuck?
No, but it makes sense. You
Yeah.
can't get your ass kicked in a
Grow
movie.
up,
you know?
man.
Yeah, but that's why like Arnold
Seagal.
he was able to still there was movies where he would get his ass kicked now and then, like same with Van Damme. Like that's what I mean. So like something like this again, that he isn't afraid to put himself into some of the scenarios in this film, right? Which are kind of ridiculous. I just think again speaks to him being smart about this kind of thing because
Right.
for some people, they could look at this and be like, this is a corny, cheesy movie, but clearly it's been successful for him. Like, it's still like it's something that people watch. They even went and made the Turbo Man actual action figure. Like, that's something that you can buy.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Peter has one
after the movie.
Yes.
Okay.
They made the toy. They produced the actual toy.
There goes one of my fucking questions.
Yeah,
I wonder how much that'll go for on Amazon or.
I don't think they made a booster though, so
Fuck
sorry
booster.
about that. Yeah. Nobody wants it.
Nobody likes a booster.
They should have made a mailman version.
Yeah, that's right.
Of Sinbad, yeah.
Oh my god.
And then the last like 15-20 minutes, if we're talking about things that did age well, like I mentioned already earlier, did not really age well for this movie. It gets very silly and cheesy for me to even appreciate it on the same level upon revisiting it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that part I'm just like, okay, yeah, whatever. This is the end of the film. He's got to save his son and do all that kind of stuff. And you know, oh, thanks, Turbo Man. You can always count on me. And everyone's like flying around the sky, and it's like the worst graphics I've ever seen. Like, or in the background, So
I love that part actually.
Listen,
he's probably hanging on his screen.
Because it totally commits to it goes aboard, overboard on the. I like that. Like it goes like in the deep end on that.
Sure,
a hardcore corner.
But I mean, like for me,
no, like the silliness, like
it
the
leaned into like how ridiculous.
I mean, he's like fighting like a gang of Santas.
Yeah,
he punches a reindeer in the face. Like
it was like a crack house.
It was ridiculous before that. Like
sure, but I just felt like it got just too cheesy at the
end.
Doesn't
Sinbad like bomb a fucking radio station?
All those parts are great though. All those parts are great.
He's not coming out of that prison to give that that toy. Like
yeah, well, that was the.
He said he's getting sent to Guantanamo, bro. Like after that. Like,
how is that entire police force not dead?
Yeah, like they just got the black suit on their face.
One guy.
Like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
He's like, relax, Sparky. I used to be on the bomb squad.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got this.
He's like, how many years on the bomb squad?
And then bringing it up at the end, they just show that he's got the hand wrapped up in fucking.
Even before that, I think.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I noticed some more.
Coffee on
it.
Anyways, how about you? Anything that really worked for you, didn't work for you before we get into scenes and quotes? Just general kind of comments on the film?
I think I'm glad that they had this sort of fucking star-studded supporting cast because they needed it so badly because Arnold's acting is so fucking bad.
Whoa!
Acting. He's not trying to be funny. He's acting, and we needed the comedy relief around him. That's how I feel.
He had a good supporting cast.
He needed them, and they did really well. And
fucking hilarious.
I think, and you know what? I know that I bring this up a lot, and nobody ever knows what the fuck I'm talking about. But I think that like just the music stuff resonates with me. Like I remember things well. Like the score from it, I still remembered like the whole fucking the theme for Turbo Man and everything.
Sure.
It's still in my head. I still remembered it. Like that really resonates with me. Like if it sticks, then I'm like, this was a really well written thing. I know it's not a huge component of this particular movie, but
it's a Christmas movie though. Yeah, there's like they even Home Alone. There's a lot of tunes that they play in that as well that I resonate with that film, right?
One of the things that I wrote down under like recurring theme, just because it's what's happening right now. This movie is very anti-postal service. They hate the postal service in this movie. Sinbad hates the postal service so bad.
It's more about the outlook of the postal service in the States at that time about going postal, like essentially, and the bombs in the mail. Yeah. It was also a theme on Seinfeld as well, right?
Yeah.
Like with their
anti-postal service. Which I didn't really think about until this time around because our postal service is on strike at the moment. And the other thing I wrote down here is that there's no fucking way that Arnold was taking his job as mattress salesman seriously.
Yeah.
Like this seriously.
So since you brought it up right now, let me just throw this in quick here.
Like,
so
why was he I'm staying here late on Christmas Eve. I gotta make these. You're a mattress salesman, brother.
So feel free to kind
of. Is he a manager or like CEO or something?
No, he's just like making sales calls.
So feel free to bring this category to if you guys pick a film where it deserves this category because I threw this in on our Halloween episode that it was my pick as well. But I'm bringing this category back. It's the what the F category where there's just some ridiculous moments. I have
to add it to my show notes.
Yeah. And number one at the top in bold letters, I always laugh about this part when I watch this movie is what Julie's saying. It's so ridiculous that this guy the day before Christmas Eve is selling mattresses like they're going out of stock.
It's not.
You're my number one customer. Yeah. Oh, Liz, I'm sorry. Oh, my wife. he's like, oh yeah, I'll get right on that. He's like,
Actually, that's not that hard to believe.
it is very hard. Who's
No, it's
selling
not.
thousands
Because
of mattresses?
Christmas has always been the most like
Mattresses
busiest time for anything.
I just can't
Retail in
believe
general.
Well, sales.
I never noticed he was a mattress salesman until this
The
rewatch.
Christmas party is going on
Yeah.
in the background.
And he's selling
He's
mattresses.
so busy selling mattresses, he can't go to the party.
Also, okay. Why is the fucking assistant giving him like a bunch of cute? Why don't you just write a sticky note? Like one
Yeah.
thing. What's this whole thing?
She made
What-
like a giant. Yeah, it's
how much
true.
what a waste of paper
I
that is.
laugh every time I'm watching that thing. They're selling like hotcakes. The mattresses are
Yeah.
flying. Oh yeah, we'll get right on that. You're my number one customer. Hello, yeah,
Oh,
you're my
okay,
number one
people
customer.
shop,
And then his
man.
wife calls him. He's like, "Oh, remember, you're my number one." Liz, no, sorry. I thought she just like
Oh
hangs up
my
on-
god, dude.
Yeah, it's funny.
I die every time. This guy's selling shitloads of mattresses.
I'm also laughing about how easy it was for him to break into the school after everything was over. He just walked
It's
in.
like, what? I'm like,
Karate was done.
Arnold rushes through an empty parking lot and is somehow surprised when he walks in.
Yeah. He got in and he was like, I missed it. It was like, no shit, there's no
I
one here.
didn't
All
make
the
it.
lights are-
That's funny.
Yeah.
What else do I have for this category? Why is he a suburban jacked Austrian man with no explanation whatsoever throughout the film? There's only one line that Phil Hartman's like, you can't bench press your way
I
out
love
of this.
that line.
Yeah.
But no one else acknowledges it. He's just like a big juice
His
bag.
own wife doesn't acknowledge it until she's like, Howard,
Oh,
he's in a
yeah.
suit. Like,
Yeah.
you've seen him naked. You've had his
Oh,
child. What do you mean?
We'll get to her,
Oh,
okay?
fuck.
She's ridiculous, too.
Yeah.
They somehow have created a working jetpack propulsion system here.
Yeah.
He's just zooming
And a
around.
weapon thing that he's firing discs at the guy's
For,
head
for a Christmas
in
parade.
a
Like,
public setting.
why do they have this advanced tech for
Right.
this?
For a parade. Fucking
So
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Hold on. Yeah, and then I just basically put the obvious. Arnold doesn't go to jail despite like all the
Yeah.
numerous crimes he commits in this film. He assaults store clerks, chases a little girl, fights a factory full of con men, and then
He
impersonates an
impersonated a police
officer. Yeah.
That cop has
The
had
bomb.
the
There's a whole
time.
bomb scenario.
Yeah.
And then he basically sneaks his way into the parade.
Yeah.
It's not, doesn't
I
seem
just
that offensive
don't-
to me.
I just
That's
don't
like a
understand.
day in jail at most. All
Right.
that shit. Like, but Sinbad is getting like 25 to like
Yeah.
My
he's
next
never
one.
coming out of that.
Then
fucking-
Myron, Sinbad's character, he tries to kill the kid, literally kill
Yeah.
him. And then basically the moment's just glossed over. He's like, yeah, sorry about that tension we just had there. On
Yeah,
the He's
like-
like, it's okay. He's like, my kid's going to love this. And he's like, it comes.
They're not. You're not getting.
yeah, you're
it.
never seeing your kid again, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, in what world is Phil Hartman making moves on this guy's wife?
Bro,
like,
this
you
guy's
see
the
the
man.
size of this
That's
guy?
the best. Okay,
Yo,
that is
this
the
guy's
best
the
part
man.
of this whole movie. It's that Phil Hartman character.
Phil Hartman. Oh, dude.
He's my favorite part of that movie, and his performance is borderline genius. I think.
Phil
Like,
Hartman's like fucking
great.
all
I
the
love Phil.
neighbors'
What?
wives.
when he's
He's the man.
when he's like they're like at the karate thing or
Yeah.
whatever, and he's filming it, and
Yeah.
all the wives are kind of like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Phil, could you
I
like?"
got the perfect tool.
I
just
bet
for
you-
that.
I need
you to come over and lay some pipe
Yeah.
at my house. And he's
Like,
like,
thank you
and he's
for-
recording, and he's like, yeah, I've got.
No.
Yeah.
The thing that is so funny about him, like specifically, is like how he's looking off to the side, almost like he's like
Yeah.
expecting to receive praise. He's just like, "Yeah, of course." Like I
And
don't
then
know.
he cranes his neck back and he sees that she's staring at him. He's like, oh.
I
He's
love
like,
this.
he's like, yeah, yeah, I got just the right tool for the job. And then finally, how doesn't his wife realize that it's him when he comes
What?
in the Turbo Man suit
Yeah.
at the end?
How come they don't recognize his
He
accent?
takes off
He's
the
got a
mask.
voice model.
The only one with an accent. Yeah, the
Right,
whole
voice
fucking
model.
Bro,
movie.
come on, look at that guy. You can't tell that's him. It's like the Superman thing, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
the
Like,
fucking
yeah.
glasses
Yeah.
on, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Well, they don't know what's in it.
Yeah,
They don't know it's
that's-
the Flash who he is.
that's where she says, "Oh, Howard."
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, "What do you mean?
Yeah, he's not taking off. That
Nobody
suit.
else in this white Minnesota town talks like this guy. What are you talking about?"
So yeah, that's the what the F moments that I wrote down, just like
I'm
ridiculous
gonna add
moments in
that
this
to my
movie.
thing so I
Yeah.
get that.
But the mattress one is my number one.
Yeah.
Every time I watch this movie, I just laugh at the start how crazy he's going selling mattresses. I'm so surprised you're defending that. Those guys like, listen, it's the holidays.
I think
my
just because of
mattress.
what I
He's
work.
a salesman,
Yeah,
bro.
just because of what I work, I know that like anything you work during the holidays,
Not like
It's a
this, where the phones are ringing.
people are gonna
off
buy. I mean, why not? People would.
Oh,
buy
I mean, the
Christmas
phones are ringing
mattresses.
off the hook. We know what it's like,
Yeah.
right, Max?
You work in a place though that is we know is busy during the holidays.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I
Everything
mean.
is
'Cause
busy
people
during the
like you.
holidays. Everything. Like I took an Uber over here.
That's
This
right.
guy was telling me he gets more Uber rides
Not me.
during the holidays. Everything just gets upped, you know, because
I
people
don't
have the
know.
money, disposable cash to spend and stuff. Well, not now, right? Like
Right.
in the times we
Right.
live in now, but like I mean, like that's the time of the year that you splurge a little, and that's what I low-key think this show.
I would have probably
is
waited
actually about like
till
this-
Boxing Day.
how like Christmas has been like converted into this fucking sales for this do or die sales frenzy where people are like outside of the store and they're like stomping on each other just to get their
Oh, this
There's stuff,
definitely
like-
has to do with the commercialism of Christmas.
yeah, that's
a lot
like
of
what I
these
think is like the
movies do.
big point of it.
A lot of
actually.
these movies do. That's why underneath it, though, you always have to have those moments that it's about family. It's
Yeah,
about this,
that's
it's
what
about
Christmas should be about,
But
and he makes that realization. But then it's
Right.
like they're showing you like
right.
what Christmas has kind of been turned into.
Right.
You know, like so-
Well, that's why. And then, but Myron, even in today's society, the conspiracist in the crowd, ranting and
yeah.
he's a character that's very relatable today,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. Like he's talking about the toy companies,
Dude.
he's talking about like all the conspiracies behind shit, how everything's wrong with the world.
Right,
like,
right.
You know what I mean? He's a very relatable character.
He's the
right?
funniest thing about that character to me is like how like he's like trying to buddy up to him, and then the second that it's like the hunt is on for the toy, they turn into like
Yeah.
he's so cutthroat with it, and then it's like after the thing is over, oh yeah, and then they find out through the radio, and then it's like back to like the
Right.
race again. It's just
Yeah.
funny how they turn that on and off like that whole
Yeah.
relationship.
Any general comments from you though about the film
General
before we get into
comments?
scenes and
What you liked, what you
Yeah.
disliked. All
What
those.
I liked the cartoony vibe of it. I think when you talk about comedies, especially now, I think we've mentioned this many times about how like dated, not how stale the comedy genre has become, or kind of like how it's kind of lost its grip. I feel, and a lot of it I feel like is because they don't allow themselves to be silly anymore. They're all just like people in a room talking. That's like a lot of comedies now. It's just a lot of
right.
conversational shit, and they don't really go for broke on the whole. Yeah, just be ridiculous. Just totally be ridiculous. This is like a Bugs Bunny
You
cartoon.
can get canceled
Yeah,
nowadays.
kinda.
You gotta be
Play-
careful how you
play,
talk.
play a character,
Play-
like do something.
Yeah, like
yeah,
every
yeah.
character in this movie is totally ridiculous.
Like an old
Yeah.
Ben
And they're
Stiller,
all-
like a Ben Stiller movie, like
Yeah.
Zoolander. Or
yeah.
something
Like
that,
I
where
missed
he-
something. Yeah,
No, but
Blades of Glory.
but or Will Ferrell or Jim Carrey, where they have to commit themselves to play like a weird character.
Yeah.
Like they're like, I'm not myself.
and not
Like,
just the main character, but the whole cast is
Yeah.
is in on it too.
Right.
Like every character, and that's what I
Right.
think what we like about
Right.
these supporting cast. So it's refreshing to see that. Like wow, and then also it's funny. I also feel like I mean we could talk about this more later, but like I feel like this sort of like type of movie also doesn't exist in sense of like an all ages movie that has a lot of adult humor snuck in
Oh
there.
yeah,
I feel like that's totally gone. Like
dirty
that's not
perverted
really
humor
there
too.
anymore. Like because I think maybe they're trying to clean it up, or also
I think
I
it's
don't
the
know.
other way now. Like the Marvel movies are made for our age,
Yeah.
and then they
Yeah.
sort of play to the kids a little bit.
that's
now.
totally been reversed.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I feel like they don't make like movies for kids like that anymore. Like it's kind
Yeah.
of unfortunate.
Yeah.
No, you're right. And
Yeah.
that's another good thing about this movie. It is fun for the whole family. Like I know
Yeah.
that's like lost on us sometimes these days, or if it has to be a family movie, you can't have it both ways in terms of the tone or the jokes and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, there's a couple of
Like
edgy
sexual
jokes in
nudity.
this, right?
There isn't too much I dislike about the movie because I feel like what it's going for, it totally just nails
Right.
it. Like if it's trying to be a silly Christmas movie, like for
Right.
you could show a kid, like I think it does this in spades, and that's why I'm so like when I'm watching this, it like Arnold, of course, during that time, he's already like 10 plus years in the game, 15, 20 years, whatever, as an actor. So he's already been like an A-star name. But I just cannot imagine someone like that existing today. Like someone with a very thick foreign accent and then is like that appealing to a mass audience like that. Like you know, that even a kid like you as a 9-year-old would
Right.
want to go see a movie with him, and it's just
Yeah.
I don't see that happening anytime soon. Honestly,
Honestly, that's why in the past I've found him very inspiring. He did a lot of things that people thought that he couldn't do. Like he is
Right.
like he is a perfect example of like, you know, the American dream back then. Like he
Absolutely.
came from another country. He succeeded in bodybuilding. He succeeded in acting. He was the biggest bankable blockbuster action star for a long period of time, and then he became a governor. Like this guy
Right.
has had massive success.
There'll
in
never
many
be
different
another guy
avenues.
like Arnold.
Yeah, and whether or not you like him, you still have to respect what he's done,
Absolutely.
right? Like so, like at least I think so. I think
he might be the GOAT action star, honestly, of all time.
Oh, he's
like,
my favorite.
He's the golden
He's my
standard that,
favorite.
like, even when we talk about like The Rock and Vin Diesel, like
no,
these
The
are the
Rock doesn't
people.
have anything.
No, but this who do they compare him to?
Sure.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, because he is that gold standard of like.
Yes, Stallone and him. I think are
Him
the
and
two.
Stallone. Yeah, I would put Stallone.
Stallone and him are the Mount Rushmore, like kind of like,
Yeah.
and then you can probably
Van Damme, maybe. Would you put Van Damme in the top?
I mean, he's not as good as those guys, but he's still pretty good.
Kick
Yeah,
ass, though. He did kick ass.
yeah. I mean, he's of that era.
Van Damme would probably be like the Statham today, like a more slim body, but like guy who's like martial arts kind of.
Oh, we can throw Jackie Chan in there, right?
Jackie Chan, for sure. Jackie Chan, yeah,
and
for
then,
sure.
And then for a lot of people, not for me personally, I know a lot of people were fans of Chuck Norris back in the day too, but I wouldn't put
Chuck
him there.
Norris,
I don't
Steven
just like
Seagal.
I like the Chuck Norris quotes. That's all.
You got Steven Seagal,
The jokes.
jokes.
I wouldn't put-
Dolph
I wouldn't put-
Lundgren,
I wouldn't put Seagal.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Willis.
I like
Bruce
Seagal's
Willis.
haircut.
Yeah, Bruce Willis. I like. Yeah.
Maybe Seagal's haircut I would put in there.
So yeah.
How about you, Mr. Elfat over there? And thank you for joining in on the Christmas spirit there. I don't know who this guy is these days. I don't know. He's like he used to be the Grinch, and now he's
Elf
wearing
on
a
the
Christmas
Shelf,
hat. Yeah. But how about you? Any general opinions about this though? Overall though, what you like, what you didn't like about the film?
You know what? It was a corny movie that was fun to watch, but there was a lot of, for me, it was a lot to take in. It was a lot of colors, lots of everything going on, a lot of action going on everywhere. I'm telling you, it was very, very. I mean, I'm a black and white type of guy. If
Did you even rewatch it for this episode?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of people in it. There's actors. There's Christmas.
No, but you got everything, like even like Max said. You got everything from scenes like fucking perverted.
The night before. That's what he said. He's like a student that didn't like do shit for his project. He just goes up there and fucking wings it. Like
that's it, bro. You gotta work best under pressure.
All right. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on then.
Hey, wait. No, I mean, but then you like the corny neighbor, which
that guy
likes to bang everybody. That's Phil Hartman there.
Yeah.
He was the best. He's like a Jefferson.
He's the best
from the fucking Darcys, from the fucking
my favorite
Bundys.
movie.
In that sense, where you have that fucking next door neighbor.
You know what? I used to probably think Hartman was my favorite, but Sinbad now Sinbad, I just love him in this movie.
Yeah, because you don't see him anymore. Like, where is he?
He's actually not doing well. Actually, he had a stroke a few years ago. Yeah.
Nobody from this movie except maybe Arnold is doing well. That's just
isn't Phil Hartman dead too?
That's a very he got.
Jamie is not doing well.
He was hitting on the neighbors too much, right?
Bro, that's a tragic story. You know what happened to Phil Hartman? His wife killed him.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. He was fucking hitting on the neighbors too much after this movie.
For
like
a while.
not long after
not long
that
after
movie.
the movie. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Maybe he started hitting on the
I love
neighbors.
Phil Hartman. Yeah, I love Phil Hartman. So yeah,
He was so funny.
He was checking on too many people taking a shower.
That's right. Yeah.
That's all I can hear every time.
Want
I
me
hear
to go
it.
check? No. On the way out. Yeah. All right. Let's get the seeds here. Speaking of that seed, here I'll start us off and we'll go around. I won't hog them all. Okay, guys.
No, go ahead. Two JTs too.
Okay.
Every time I look over, this guy's looking at fucking IMDb.
Who?
Jay.
Hey, I don't write anymore, man.
Are you reading the plot of the movie on Wikipedia, bro?
Looking for quotes at the fucking
Well,
bottom.
I have a lot of studying to do this week. Come on.
So for me,
this month,
honestly, like my two favorite scenes have to be the mall scene with the ball chase and basically him getting called out for being a pervert when he chases the little girl, which I think is just fucking hilarious because he actually has to go into that little playground and actually like run through and they got the Christmas music going. You know, that part. That part I like. And then that part, which leads directly into the Santa Claus con men fight.
Yeah.
That for me is the
favorite.
best portion of the film is that part. Like, I mean, listen, I have many other parts here, but like those parts for me, I think are probably my favorites. The favorite that has aged the best because This is jumping ahead to quotes, but the "I'm not the pervert" line is one of my favorite lines.
I'm not a pervert.
Just hearing him yell that out, I think is hilarious. It's like, I'm not a pervert. I just want to try to get Turbo Man doll. I need that doll. I need that ball. He's like, I'm not a pervert. And they also like smacking it with like the person.
He's trying to make the exchange with the little girl. Like, I trade you this red ball.
Hey, little girl.
But, that little girl only wanted that ball because he wanted it. That's what she's like kind of fucking with
shiny red ball. You want to trade? Yeah, he's like in the ball pit.
Yeah, that's not flying today, bro. Like,
bro, it's hilarious.
You can't even talk to other people's kids
It kills me. It kills me. It kills me.
I don't even want to. Yeah.
How about you, Julie?
What has always bothered me about that particular scene is that they dressed that kid like the butchest lesbian I've ever seen.
Oh, with the
that little girl
like that.
has like a bowl cut and is wearing suspenders and a really weird fucking shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, what? Like
she looks when
like
they're
like,
boy.
oh, this is little girl. I'm like, is it?
Yeah.
It was the 90s.
That's not PC anymore. However, I remember thinking that back
you
in the day. I was
Julie.
like, that's a girl. Okay.
No, she's right. The haircut is atrocious.
It's bad. Like it's a bad haircut. I wrote down the mall Santa scene specifically, like that. There's also like hella montages in this movie. It's all montages, the whole fucking film. But the mall Santa bit and the parade sequence, because it's so fucking ridiculous.
The
like,
ending,
you
like the ending.
It's nonstop. It's just.
It's a half an hour of just going on.
There's so many things about it that I'm like, this would never fucking happen. The whole movie is ridiculous. But I was like,
he's like flying through people's apartments.
I was so nitpicky about shit at the end. I was like, first of all, they're hanging from this thing above the building.
See, that's why it doesn't work for me
hanging
as much,
on to the bars with gloves on. This kid would have been dead 45 minutes ago. Like, there's so many stupid little things that I pick
also,
on.
I don't know if you noticed when they come out for the parade, he like picks a kid with his like. It's like the parade is like one street.
Yeah,
like they come out. Like as soon as his float comes out, it just stops and he picks a kid. It's just like it
looks like the fucking Macy's parade before that, but then it's like he just like waits until suddenly, there's his kid, and then he's like, Jamie.
Yeah, he goes like for a block, and then he's like,
and then they just stop the parade.
And also like Christine, this is something she pointed out when we were watching it. She's like, every kid in this movie is like stupid. Like, they seem like not as old as they're supposed to. Like, they just all seem dumb. Like, they're just like, he knows my name.
Yeah. How does he know? Yeah, like
just before
dad has the most ridiculous accent in this county.
Yeah.
You don't know his fucking voice? What the hell?
Jamie!
Yeah, in the 90s, everybody had to carry around the video camera on their fucking shoulder.
And then what?
You never get anybody's voice. Those kids, that's why, oh my God, he knows me. There was no TV not TV, but there's no computers and fucking social media.
He's an idiot. Yeah.
So dumb, that kid.
I love that kid.
Yeah. And, your parents should get a divorce.
That's right.
That's
That's one of my favorite quotes of the movie.
Yeah,
it worked out for
So those are my two favorite sequences.
How about you, Jay?
Yeah, Phil.
Which one did you just look up?
Yeah,
haven't touched.
That's what I was gonna say.
No, I like anything to do with the Phil Hartman. I be honest with you. Hey, the cab part at the end where he's really trying to put the moves on her and she fucking throws the
coffee,
the eggnog.
Yeah.
It's not alcoholic eggnog. Here,
why does the kid say
he's
like
he's so creepy.
No.
One of the kids like, Dad, you smell like barf. Why did he say that?
I don't know, but he's just like, let's get out of here. Because he sees that he's turbo.
Yeah.
He's like,
shit, we gotta go.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, the one in the radio station when they go into the radio station, right?
That was good.
When they're I'm not like gonna say the whole fucking leading up to that part, but when they go in, they first he was like he made the joke about there being a bomb in the fucking thing.
Right.
Sinbad there. I don't know his name on the
Myron.
Myron.
Yeah.
Myron Larrabee.
Yes, he that scene was funny. They made a joke about it, but then they ended up having one after when the cops showed up and busted.
Yeah.
Or like even Julie said, the crackhead Santa house, man. That was crazy. That was like undercover. You want to come get some drugs? Teaching all the kids back that age.
Jim Belushi's great.
Yes,
Oh.
he is good. He is
Yeah.
very good in this. Yeah,
Dude.
that's the thing. All the people that were the supporting cast that just had like one scene in the movie, they knocked it out of the park. Like you could tell that they obviously had to bring in like a lot of really good people to like bounce off the ridiculousness that is Arnold in this film, right?
Yeah.
Like what's going on with him, right? His mania.
Who was the guy at the radio station, the radio host?
He was from Roseanne. His name is Martin. I can look it up. I know his name, Martin Mull.
Okay.
I believe it's Martin Mull.
It was like that guy moment that I was
He's
like, I've seen this guy in some shit.
He was on Roseanne. He was like one of the main characters on Roseanne.
Okay.
I think he ran the diner that she worked at or something. I think she worked at a restaurant.
He's known for the Clue movie.
Oh yeah, maybe. But he's in lots of things. He's
on Bob's Burgers.
He died as well, though, I believe, a couple years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
He's done a lot of stuff.
Martin Mull, yeah. He was like during this period.
Community.
That's where he was most known for, though. I think he was on Roseanne.
I would have looked this up myself, but my phone is my camera right now.
Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, no, he's done. I don't see the Roseanne.
He's in a lot of shit.
He's in little episodes here and there.
Yeah.
Also, the guy is the store clerk at the start there is one of the SNL people. He's also one of the
guy
voices
that's like
in Rick and
tapping
Morty. No, you know how like those guys that laugh at him in the store clerk at the start?
One of those guys is in the Casper movie. I recognized him as like one of the Casper weird.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good bit players in here in terms of like the cast here that we got supporting cast. How about you, Max?
Growing pains too.
Favorite scene? You mentioned it, the one where he fights all the Santa Clauses.
Yeah.
My favorite part of this whole movie is like what I think is like the funniest gag of the movie is when he's fighting the big one. Arnold's fighting the big tall guy, and the guy's about to punch him, and then Arnold ducks and he actually punches like the little like whatever, and the guy gets sent flying. Little person. And the guy gets sent flying like obscenely, like absurdly, like across the whole thing. That has me crying of laughter when I saw that. And then there's the scene that like almost every scene with Phil Hartman to me is like the funniest, but I'll just pick one. The one where Arnold comes home and Phil Hartman answers the phone and he's like baking cookies and stuff.
Of course,
that has like to me my favorite stretch of like quotes. Like
that's the best like in terms of gifable moment. Like that's what everybody like. Arnold still to this day gets requests for people to yell that line out. Which if you go ahead, it's going to be a quote.
It says, "Put the cookie down."
Yeah.
But that's a funny scene. That's a funny line. But also like the whole thing. This is like I love that character Phil Hartman played because it's like he's like this like fake nice guy, but you can tell he's such a scumbag. Like
dude, the way he plays a pervert.
The way he's answering the phone. The way he's answering the phone, he's just like he's looking like
she's just
your wife's cookies are out of this world, and he's like making all these like sex modes and stuff. It's just
and he's like, just tell her I'm gonna be. It's okay. Who cares? I'm here. But anyway, like what a dick,
bro. She's in the shower. You want to go check? Yeah.
Like that guy has to have like I don't know if he's just stupid or just has like I don't know he's very ballsy to be going after Arnold's wife and just like nonchalantly like
he's also in a movie so he can get away with going against Arnold's
but
wife.
Also he does have the upper hand in the sense that he knows that this guy's on the outs with his wife so like this is kind of why he's moving in now, right?
He's got the whole neighborhood trying to
the whole neighborhood wants him because he's divorced.
He's got all the women in the neighborhood trying to like go after him and he's targeting Arnold's wife
put a pin on that because I have some questions for later because there's a couple of things about this whole situation that we have to bring into question, honestly.
About the Phil Hartman character?
Yeah, I know this whole like what's going on in this movie and these things that I had questions about.
That does it for me.
Scenes. What else do I have here? I also really like when he tries to steal the Turbo Man under from Ted's tree, and then he kicks Balthazar, that guy of the
what is the head
on fire outside the window at the
Carolina. I didn't even know that was his name. I didn't even know that was
Balthazar. He kicks it out the window. The Carolina's like,
I didn't even know what the fuck.
Say that to each other all the time. We have no idea who it is or what it is. We just be like,
it's one of the wise men, right?
I know that, but as kids, we didn't know who the fuck.
I didn't know what their names were. I just knew one bring frankincense, myrrh, and gold or whatever the fuck.
Probably one of the wise men.
And then also
maybe he's the frankincense.
Here's a scene that isn't funny, but I think it's important to the movie. Is the phone call to Jamie where he yells at him. I think this is a very important scene.
Jamie yells at Arnold?
Yes, and when he gets angry at him about putting his mother on the phone, Because I think it's important because like he does not look like a good guy in that moment or a good father, and for him to bring it back around and get redemption at the end of this movie, whether or not it's deserved after everything that happens. But listen, like this is an important moment. Like I remember that moment as a younger person seeing this movie too hit me, because like parents get upset at their kids sometimes, and I feel like they don't really show that enough in these movies, right? So like he at least recognized that he was in the wrong after the fact, but he was pissed off. He had a hell of a day up to that point. I think that's after the whole Santa scenario with them fighting all those people, right? Yeah. So like it's understandable that he reacted that way in that moment. So I think that was just a very important scene like to the movie, because I kind of liked that they put that in there, because they could have easily not put that in there and made him look like a better guy.
Sort of grounding and relatable.
Right. No, but they made him look like a bad father in that moment. He yelled at him, he got upset at him, and then he yelled back, and he was just like, yeah, okay, like I screwed up, right? So yeah, and then really,
we all wish our dads would have done that.
And then in the same way, I think the diner scene is important.
Yeah.
I think the diner scene with Sinbad, where they're kind of reminiscing about like their childhoods, and then also like how he was the hero then when he put together that clubhouse for him and all that kind of stuff, and then you get that moment of him seeing Jamie like in his eyes like a drunk mailman kind of Jamie kind of character, right? Like and he's like, no, he's like, because the whole time he's not relating to Sinbad on that level. Like he's like, we're not alike. You're a little different than I am.
Sinbad was kind of basically saying, yeah, but his dad didn't do fuck all and let him down a lot, right?
And no, but then he talks about the neighbor boy got the toy, the Johnny Omega whatever toy, like the G.I. Joe kind of character.
Yeah. I had G.I. Joe.
And he's like, you know what that kid grew up to be? He's like some billionaire like businessman. He's like, his father got him that toy, and then look at me where I am, right? But I just hate that. You know me. I hate people that like blame other fucking situations for their problems.
Well, look at me.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I just like, oh, listen, look at you. I don't know about you. No, but like he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he had a bad childhood. Clearly, you know what I mean. Like I feel bad for Sinbad a little bit in that moment, but then he goes at like
two different realities.
It's
like you're playing two different lives. You know, I mean,
But he is successful compared to Sinbad. The reason he's a bad father is that he had a bad upbringing, right? The reason that he is a bad father is because he's too busy making money. It seems like though he's just too busy working, right? Which is again another relatable thing I think for depending.
He's got a ridiculous house to pay for,
right? Yeah. So like that's a little bit different, right? I mean, it's just, but of course it's important that you take time, obviously, you have to, right? Like but I've seen that many times. I've had parents that were busy working when I was younger, right? And that's just reality sometimes, right? So you work many jobs sometimes even to get food on the table, right?
You think that what's her name was a stay-at-home mom, Rita Wilson?
Probably not.
Is that sort of
I think
pointed
so.
to?
Her kids are old enough.
I think so.
No,
You're talking about in the movie.
I don't know what her name is. Liz.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm trying to make a
no
funny.
But yeah,
you tried to make a funny. You made a funny, all right.
That's it for me for scenes though. Anything else?
I think like actually now that you mention it, my actual like favorite scenes of the movie are like the exchanges between Arnold and his son. Like even like in the first one, like when he's trying to make up
the karate thing.
Yeah, he like chases him up to his room and stuff. I mean, when you talk about like that's probably the best acting that Arnold does in the movie. Like when he's talking to his son, it's
Jamie,
like
don't walk away from your father.
No, but like I don't like you're making fun of it, but like he's actually heartfelt as hell. Like yeah. I mean, the kid is like ignoring him and shit, and then he's just like trying to get back into his faces. I don't know. I thought that was
it's good. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think you have to mention those moments. I mean, obviously, my favorite moments are the funny moments, but without these couple of moments,
the movie doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. You need those moments, right?
And,
so I mean,
Jake Lloyd did a good job too. Like his thing. I like them.
Hot take: Jake Lloyd was a better actor in this movie than Arnold.
No, I totally disagree. I
don't know if that's a hot take.
I actually thought of some of his line readings were really bad in this movie.
Jake Woods?
Yes.
I thought he did really good in that scene that he's talking about, where they're up in the bedroom and he's talking about karate stuff.
I don't know. There's some other parts
that was
where
really genuine to me.
I know something about like he's like this little kid and the way he's running up the stairs. Even later when
he's like, a little kid,
he takes like his cereal box and he's pouring. I don't know. It's just like he was so cute in this movie. It's just like it just really touched me.
No, for me, I was kind of like,
No, I thought he was cute. I thought he was
just a kid that wants to spend time with his dad, and it's like
straight
that's
up
really what the movie is.
Straight up, Max.
Okay. All right.
You see where we're going?
This guy's on one right now.
I'm all sensitive now. Yeah, I had
You know,
friends.
it's so funny because that was literally the point of the movie we talked about last time, Steve Jobs, and like, remember that was like what that movie was about. And then Nico's like, "Ooh, I could have done without that shit."
Well, I
That's
guess
like,
the Santa
that's
Claus
what
stuff
you-
helped out.
no, that's what
Maybe
you
the Arnold
need.
accent.
That's what these all are. You know, they have to kind of like relay it back home. Like,
Right.
to
I
something
love how
relatable.
you still like are like out of
From
context.
the
Out
That's
of
what-
context, mentioning my comment about that. I gave context to what I said. When I
No,
made
no,
that
but you're
comment.
like, I could have done without that shit or whatever, right? Like,
No,
did you say that?
I said it worked and it was good,
Yeah.
but I could have also gotten a movie with him just inventing
Yeah.
stuff, and
Yeah.
I would have been fine with that.
yeah.
Because you know what, you didn't need that context in that. To be honest with you, this kind of thing you need the context with the toys.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Movie,
Yeah.
With the toys and with the Christmas spirit, you kind of need that context.
No, but I was just
in this
saying,
one.
like, you need that human element just in this and in even this movie because
Yes.
you need something to relate to the characters. Otherwise, it's just Arnold
Right.
being silly
Yeah,
for two
you need
fucking
some of
hours.
that element
Right.
of it to
And then
base
it's
it in
just like,
reality.
well, you
Right,
know,
which I agreed with
you
the
know?
Steve Jobs. It worked.
Yeah.
They needed to humanize that character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was just saying personally, if they gave me the other thing, I would have been okay with
Yeah,
it
yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we didn't need to see the human part of Steve Jobs. We knew.
No, I needed to see that.
right,
No.
right.
That's what
like
makes that
seeing
movie work for me.
the human part of Arnold
And that's what makes this
Schwarzenegger.
movie work for me too.
Not the
Yeah.
Terminator part, not the, you know what I mean. This was him being
That's
Ameri-
a-
I think the whole thing about Arnold being ridiculous, or wait, so are you guys saying that Arnold is a bad actor?
no.
I don't think that.
I just think he's a funny
Do
actor.
you think that, Julie? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think so at all.
Just be real. Just if that's what you say.
I think Arnold's a great
because I think a lot of it is
I think
probably.
he's had good roles, but I don't think of him as being a really great actor.
I think a lot of it is probably because of the accent. It's just hard to.
No, that makes it funny, bro.
I don't.
That's what I mean. It doesn't make it serious.
I-
It doesn't.
It
When he
does,
wants to
but
be
it makes
grounded,
it
it does.
serious
I don't.
and funny.
I don't
mean,
agree with your take on it. Then I think he is a good actor. I just
Yeah.
think it's like he knows like his.
Because I thought that was good acting
Bro,
he
he-
did in
I
that
think
scene.
listen, it's he knows what he to play is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I think he's very smart about what he does in terms of his films that he like his roles he plays.
yeah.
Like and he's taking
Yeah, you don't have
chances,
to- you don't
and
have
he's
to-
taking lots of
You don't have to do
chances.
like Shakespeare to be a
Right,
good actor. You just have
right.
to sell your
No,
character.
I think he's good.
That's what I
Honestly,
think
like
he
has
does
has
it.
he ever done some bad movies? Absolutely.
But is that
I-
his fault? Like, or is that just
and,
you know?
and lots of actors have, right?
Yeah, every
But-
actor. De
But
Niro has had bad movies. as
Yeah,
well. Like,
yeah.
you know,
But
everyone
no,
has.
that's fine if you don't think he's a great actor. Some people don't, right? I think he is.
Well, I haven't seen his entire fucking catalog or anything.
Well, then you're
but,
not
like,
me.
it's-
I clearly
it's-
have.
Well,
I
it's
know
easy-
I won't even
thought
argue with
the
Nico on this
shit out
one.
of
well, it's
Sure.
easy to dismiss acting in like genre movies. Like, you don't ever look at a comedy or an action movie or whatever. It's like, oh, these guys are doing good acting, but
Mhm.
they have to sell that character. So
Right.
there's some
Right.
something in there. Right? So.
Any other scenes though from anybody or
I have lines, not scenes.
okay?
Yeah.
Quotes. Let's get into the quotes. Yeah, there's tons.
Oh, how?
Uh,
Sorry.
I'll start out here. I already threw some of these out. Don't forget you're my number one customer. And then there's the part where he talks to Phil Hartman when he's leaving Ted, and he's like, "Oh, it's gonna get icy later. You may want to wrap some shades around those tires." And he like mumbles, "Might want to wrap some shades around you." And he, like,
Yeah,
pulls it
yeah.
up. Julie, how about you?
I knew about the rest that were gonna come up and everybody else's, so I wrote down. I don't know what it is about the way this line is delivered that like it just stuck with me. When he knocks over the cop's bike and the cop goes, "You broke my little mirror."
Yeah.
That's been stuck in my head since I first saw the movie. I don't know.
I know he's so
why.
saddened by
It's
that.
something
Yeah.
about the way he delivers the line. He's like, "You broke my little mirror." I also think that Tata Turtle Man is really funny to me.
Yeah,
And
Sinbad, yeah.
when Jim Belushi says, "What are you, the Question King?"
Yeah.
Chill out, man.
What is it? 60 minutes? What
Yeah.
are you, Dan Rather? What are you, the Question King?
Yeah, that
Chill.
one. Those are great.
I had that one too. Yeah.
When Sinbad says, "Have you ever seen the movie Vertigo? Does that mean anything to you?"
Yeah.
Stupid kid.
When they're on the roof.
That's all I wrote down.
The other part too that they snuck in there is when he gets trampled at the ball.
The Rodney King line.
Yeah, Rodney
Oh
King.
my
Rodney
God.
King.
Yo.
You and I were both just like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, that's why again, that's like one of those ones where it's just like hasn't aged well, I guess, and like also like the fact that he threw it in back then, like post that, like it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy that he did that. That's why it's hilarious though. It makes
Yeah.
me laugh every time.
Makes sense. Like, people are probably less sensitive about this type
Maybe.
of shit than like.
No, but it's the fact that Sinbad's saying it. It's
Yeah.
like he's been, you know what I mean? Like it's like a tragedy, personal tragedy. What's going on to him? You know what I mean? Like the Rodney King incident. Like that's crazy. Like everyone's trampling.
There was another line that he said that too that gave me the same kind of like, oh damn, like they wouldn't have written that line anymore, but I don't remember what it was. I should have wrote it.
No, he goes for it, which is why, like what you said, this kind of works on an
full
adult
tilt.
level. Some of the
Yeah,
jokes,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
if you don't pay attention, like he just throws that one in there, like as he's getting trampled in
Yeah.
that scene, right?
Yeah.
Jay,
You know what? It's Turbo Time.
of course.
That's got to be the classic
It's like
one,
it's
right?
Morbin time.
It's like morphing
that's what I
time,
feel.
or yeah. But also, when when the reindeer and all that shit, when the reindeer started, they were drinking the beer outside and all that.
It was just
Well,
one.
after he knocks out the
Just one
reindeer,
There's one reindeer, yeah. After he knocks him out, and says you started it.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Oh, dude, I was like, I can't wait till this reindeer just mounts him right now. But that wasn't part of the movie,
No, it was an alternate cut.
No, and I think the Phil Hartman ones. There's so many of them. Like they were just
he was.
creepy.
He's the
and
MVP. To me.
You honestly, you sit back and back then you would have no fucking clue what the hell he was saying. But when you sit it now, it's like so borderline fucking.
Like the reading between the lines of what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's huge in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, and that maybe is where it comes from, and bringing in the adults into the movies.
Yeah.
Sorry, the adults to bring their kids to the movies and stuff like that, so that the adults can get the jokes.
Right.
Could you imagine the questions that these kids had afterwards? What kind of what did it mean? Because he did that creepy like little stalker face every time he was doing something, right? Like
Mhm.
he had the whole scene about putting the
Which
the thing
again,
on
this
top
is
of
weird humor to have in a holiday movie. Some of this stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like, but
Well,
it works.
it
Don't
does
get me
work.
wrong,
Yeah.
it works. But it's just if you're gonna compare it to other comedy like Christmas classics, like listen, I mean, Christmas Vacation has a lot of risque type jokes in it too, right? But
right.
and it's for me that's like that's like my favorite, right? Like so, but like
Yeah.
this one definitely like it's cheesier than Christmas Vacation, right? Because that's a National Lampoon's movie.
Yeah.
They were kind of known for those over the top comedies at that point.
Yeah.
This is definitely being I think the commercials would make it look like this is a family affair kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like so like you go there and you're getting some of these weird, like you're getting this perv character in it, you're getting like Rodney King jokes, like it's
But that was like the standard for movies like that back then. Like you always had that risky humor in there. Because
I'm not saying
they had
like
80s and early
and I'm not
90s.
saying
they had
like,
to entertain the adults who were
Right,
bringing their
right.
kids to this movie too.
Right.
But they don't. I don't see that really happening anymore. That's why it looks so like weird now.
right,
It feels like out of place. But that's like low key what it was.
right.
Well, I mean, that's why you get stuff like the Marvel stuff now, right? Because it can bring everybody there. But
Like,
there's been some
would you
funny
guys
movies.
consider Back to the? I know it's like 80s, but would you guys consider Back to the Future a kids movie? Because he's like
Yeah.
about to
Yeah.
bang his mom and shit in that movie. I'm
The
like,
thing is, a lot of us,
what child's movie would ever have that?
A lot
type
of us
sequence?
watch that, but that's the thing. That's
I've
the
never
difference.
seen it.
Like you said,
You never seen Back to the Future? Oh,
Oh
my
my
god,
God, bro.
That better be
Nico-
the pick you pick.
Nico,
dude.
do you
Like,
have like the actual set that you can let her watch?
I have the Blu-rays.
I was like, you know what? Maybe she just can't
oh my
find it now.
god,
You haven't seen any of them?
Oh my god.
that's crazy.
I mean, the third one's not that good, but the first two are wow. I'm surprised.
After we're done here, I'll run you through the gamut of
No,
movies
we've had this
that I
conversation.
should have
We've had
seen
this
by now
conversation.
that I have.
Yeah,
That's
no,
half the
everyone has them.
That's half the reason why I wanted her to do the show. Like,
never
with
saw
us,
Vertigo.
obviously, because you also watch a lot of movies. But there's also
I've never seen a Star Wars movie.
when I first
Yeah,
when you first
Me
got
too.
me to download Letterboxd and I was going through some of the films, you shocked me with some of the movies you said you've never seen. Like
I have
honestly.
a playlist or whatever on there that's all the movies that people that people are appalled that I've never seen.
What's number one? Star Wars.
No, they're not in order. It's just
Oh,
like
but what would you
Back
say-
to the Future is a pretty big
what would
one.
you say
though,
is the
bro?
number
That's
one?
a pretty big
people
one.
are most often upset that I've
Star
not seen
Bro,
a Star
nobody
Wars or
fucking
Indiana
watched-
Jones or Back to the Future. That's up there.
Michael J. Fox, you have never seen him, and those are the
I've
classics.
seen parts of it. I just never seen a full movie start to finish. I've definitely seen scenes, like sometimes it's on TV and I've seen a part of it. But like Star Wars, I've seen one scene, I think, where they cut open the Tauntaun and has to get inside.
For warmth.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only fucking Star Wars thing I've seen in the
Right.
wild.
There's a quote
Who
that
Who are you,
reminded me,
Drake?
that reminded me maybe that you would correct him if he would have said it. How could we do this? It's for a stupid for a stupid plastic doll, and then
Oh,
Sinbad
yeah.
says,
Keeps calling it a doll.
"Yeah, Sinbad says,
Action
no, it's
figure.
an action
Yeah,
figure."
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he's going to be the one that would defend that.
Well, he
right?
always calls it a doll.
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh, that's another what the F moment I forgot to write down. When
Mm.
he spells out doll in front of his kid and he doesn't like, he thinks that he does not going to know what he's
so
talking.
dumb.
He's like, I forgot the DOLL at the office. Remember? And the kid's
Yeah.
like sitting right there.
It's
Like,
like cereal.
maybe
fucking-
that goes to your point that these kids are dumb. or-
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm saying dumb.
Maybe-
I'm trying to be
maybe-
nice and not use
maybe
another
maybe-
word.
Maybe it's like some shit where the kid isn't even paying attention.
What's the PC approach? Mentally challenged. like honestly, like that's like really what's going on with these kids in this movie. I wrote down Myron's Sinbad's rant here, which is great when he's in the
in
line
the crowd.
outside of the- Hey, dear Santa, can you send me a bike and a slinky? No, your father's been laid off. He's like, as if I didn't have enough. What does he say? Problems in my life. My kid sent me out to get some goofy butt toy named Turtle Man. This is what he
Turtle
says.
Man.
Yeah. And then he's like, and then they sit there and they use subliminal messages to suck your children's minds out. And I know what I'm talking about because I went to junior college for a semester and I studied psychology, so I'm right in there. And then he's like, I know what's going on. And they sit there and they make your children feel like garbage. And you, the father who's working 24/7 delivering mail so you can make an alimony payment to a woman that slept with everybody at the post office but me. And then he like grabs that woman and
He's like, oh, you shouldn't wear fur.
he fucking kills that.
Why did
whole,
that
like,
crowd like
yeah.
beat the shit out of him
Yeah.
for choking that woman? Jesus
He's
Christ.
like, and then you get the toys and you can't put them together with the little pieces so they break. And he like grabs that woman and he choke him.
He's so mad.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's
That's great.
Yeah, that was really great. And then I just mentioned Jamie, don't walk away from your father. Even Arnold's reaction, just like the little funny like things Arnold says sometimes when he goes to the store, he's like, the Turbo Man dolls, they're all gone.
Yeah.
He just reaches out. That kills me every
Yeah.
time. Put the cookie down. You've already said. Put the cookie down. Oh, and this is my favorite. Me and Christine say this to each other all the time. It works in many scenarios in life. It's when the ball, it like he runs off with the ball, Sinbad, and he yells out, "He got two! He got two!"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Get the mailman!" Like somebody else to start charging him. That's what the Roll Rodney King thing. Yeah. Guys, have any other quotes?
When he
Or
knocked him down
Oh.
in that chase sequence and he like walks over top of him and looks down, he's like, "Oh, poor baby," and then runs off. That one's funny too.
Oh, poor baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
poor baby, huh?
I already said I'm not a pervert. I'm just looking for Turbo Man doll. Oh, you are nothing but a bunch of sleazy con men in red suits. What do you call us? You heard me right, con men. He said like con men,
Like he said some kind of racial slur, and then they all went nuts. Like
yeah,
unreal.
degenerates, lowlifes, thugs, criminals, and they just like start going crazy and fighting
Yeah.
him.
Oh, and him just repeating Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen.
Right.
Oh my God.
That guy
I
that
think he
called
kept
in
fucking it
that
up too.
started naming off the fucking Jackson 5. That was hilarious.
Tremaine. Yeah.
This
Tito.
entire town is dumb. They're all dumb. What do you mean? Nobody knows it's Arnold. The kids are stupid.
Also, I don't know if you guys
They think, like-
noticed, sometimes Arnold's acting, like the Austrian accent gets in the way of like his acting.
Yes.
So and he'll say some of the words like not properly, like he doesn't. And then he says, like when he gets mad at Jamie on the phone, he's like, "Enough of this Turbo Man, okay? I had it up to here with this Turbo Man. If there's anyone that I don't want to take advice from right now, it's Turbo Man. Now get your mother."
The way he enunciates
Yeah.
this is funny.
Oh man! Again, it's a very quotable film, so we can go on all day. Like even the Arnold things are there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Okay, hot takes. I got a couple of hot takes here. I don't know if anybody has any here. Everyone in this movie is a pretty shitty person. I mean, at the end of the day, Arnold, his wife's pretty shitty. I'm gonna call her out on some shit right now. Like, how naive is this woman that she's allowing this guy to like creep on her like this? Like, really? Like, I
But
don't
bro,
know.
you don't remember the 90s, man? Then just before the
No, but
90s,
this is
that's
what I'm
how
saying.
life
She-
was.
She's kind of down with it. I feel like I don't know. Like she's like, no, seriously.
I know,
like,
but
I
the
don't know. like,
90s
what's going on.
housewives, no offense to them out there, but those 90s housewives were a little bit, not all there, a little bit too much eggnog. I'm not even joking,
The
bro.
alcoholic one though, right?
He was 15 in the 90s. He
I'm
remembers. it
telling
better
you,
than we do.
I do remember pretty good. The women of the late 80s and early 90s were
Were
housewives
those the ones you were
in
chasing?
the suburbs, bro. I was in fucking Brampton. I know what the housewives of
The
the suburbs.
Brampton Housewives.
Yeah, well, it's not
The
like
Real
it's
Housewives of
not,
Brampton.
it's not, no, that's a Bollywood special now, but no, now, back when I was growing up, it wasn't.
Oh my
Right?
God.
I mean, to be honest with you, when I
Yeah.
was growing up, it was
Oh,
all like that.
Different demographic. Then,
Yeah,
for sure,
totally different demographic in that sense.
But yeah, everyone in this movie is pretty shitty. Like Arnold, his wife, I feel is like shitty. The kid's kind of shitty at times. The kid's friend, Ted's son, is completely shitty.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know how those kids are friends. Like he's such a like brat.
We're neighbors, you know?
I
It's
know,
like
but
when you were a
like,
kid, you're just forced to be
I get
friends
it.
with
Yeah,
we
them.
always had
that's
that friend. Like
That's
we
true.
always
That's a good
had that
point.
friend.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. Ted's terrible. Sinbad's pretty shitty. Like they're all pretty crappy. in
Yeah.
this
I mean,
movie.
They're miserable.
yeah.
It's not. It's a very
I
miserable
don't think
Christmas
the
movie in
kid.
that
I'll
sense.
push back on the kid part, but I agree with everything.
He yells at his father. How dare he?
Oh, bro, I yelled at my dad one time. I got chased up
Just
the
slap
stairs.
across the face.
I got chased up the stairs, man.
You got the bell. What is this?
Yeah. Fuck around.
Yeah.
Yell at your dad. I was scared shitless, man.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down here, literally for my next book, my next note of hot takes. This kid has balls to yell at his father the way he did. I literally wrote that here.
I mean, I don't know. His dad
He
wasn't
get hit. He was on
showing
the
up.
phone.
I know.
Yeah.
Dad wasn't showing up, so he's like, you know,
He was spitting
Got it,
some
got
hard facts.
you got to check your father every once in a while.
I've watched this movie more than I like that.
Make sure he's on point.
Yeah, I've watched this movie more than any Arnold film, and yeah, let's
Really?
I would agree with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have.
More than any other film, period. Or
Possibly. No, more than any Arnold film. Probably.
really, this is the number one.
Well, it's probably
Nice.
this, Total Recall, and Terminator 2. Like I
Because
probably
it's a
watched
Christmas movie. There's like an excuse to
Exactly.
revisit it every
Yeah.
year, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, he's a 24 after Halloween. It's just Christmas movies nonstop.
That's
Right
right.
until Christmas Day.
But top 5 Arnold movie. I'll throw this out here right now. It's got to be T2, Total Recall, True Lies, Predator, and this. That's my top 5.
That's
Nice.
actually pretty good.
That's a solid 5.
Yeah.
That is, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
These are my top. Those are my top 5. This probably rounds out the top 5. This is the one that I was curious about, though. Is this a top 3 Arnold comedy? Do you say Kindergarten Cop?
Yeah,
This,
of course. Kindergarten
and
Cop
then between
and
Twins
Junior.
and
Yeah.
Junior, which one would you
I
pick?
would say
I-
Junior.
Junior over Twins.
Yeah.
Junior is
I think
such
Twins
a
is better. I think
fucking weird movie.
they're both weird.
Yeah.
That movie like actually scarred me as a kid. Junior, like
Have you ever seen Junior?
No.
he
He
gets
has
pregnant.
He's pregnant in it.
It's about a man who gets pregnant.
And-
He's the
and-
one
and-
that gets pregnant.
And Danny DeVito is in the film.
That was the 90s,
And
bro.
then the
What
twin-
shit
and
was
then
that?
Danny
movie-
DeVito is baby.
no, he's just like
Okay.
a friend. But Danny DeVito's
His partner, basically.
in the movie
Was his
Twins.
brother.
They're twins.
Yeah, they're twins.
I
yeah.
know about that. I've not seen that one either.
Which one came first?
Twins.
I think
Twins,
I've seen
okay.
Kindergarten.
And then the defunct.
Kindergarten Cop is a classic.
Kindergarten Cop. Is
Actually,
great.
I would probably take in your top 5. I would probably take out Jingle All the Way, and put in Kindergarten Cop, or Commando. One or the other.
So those are both in my top 10.
Yeah.
They're not in my top 5,
Yeah.
but those are definitely both in my top
I wouldn't
10.
put this in my top 5, Arnold, but
Okay.
But the rest of the one that you list, the
Yeah.
rest of the movies, bangers,
Yeah.
classics.
I've never watched enough to make a top 5 of Arnold. I've watched the Total Recalls and stuff.
Conan
like
the
that, but
Barbarian's pretty good. I like
The,
that
the
one.
Total Recall
I
is
think
the
I've
best.
seen
I
that
mean,
one too.
I think Total Recall, that was more my time.
I
in-
love
in a
Total
sense.
Recall.
I
I mean, we
we got
that
to see
movie
three.
is awesome.
We've
I
done
got to
Total
see-
Recall on the channel.
Yeah,
We
I
have a video
remember.
of it,
Like I
yeah.
said then, I got to see 3 boobs at once, man. That was the first
Actually,
time. And
wait.
when you're a teenager,
That's a Paul
13?
Verhoeven movie.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
when
Wait,
you're
did you
13,
say
that's the
that
coolest thing.
True Lies is top 3 Arnold comedy?
Oh,
Did you
I didn't.
consider that a comedy?
Yeah,
Like True
you know
Lies?
what?
'Cause I
It's
feel
an
like it
action
is.
comedy. So
I feel
yes.
like it kind of is a comedy.
So top 3, I would put Kindergarten Cop, this, and that. Then True Lies, and then top 5, you would have to put Twins and
Mhm.
Junior in there. But I just don't think those should be at a top anyway. Twins and Junior are weird.
It's great. Yeah, but it's,
Hey, that
yeah,
was
but
right before the change.
he has enough movies to have like a
The
respectable
political
comedy like,
change.
thing.
This is what I was trying to make the
Yeah.
point.
The
I'm
whole
like,
no,
this is pretty
2000s,
impressive,
right? Like, I mean, it's
And
so
then you
true.
could see like I don't know. I mean, I kind of mentioned earlier, but you see like The Rock totally like trying to copy and paste his blueprint. Like you can't do it, buddy. You can't do it, bro.
But they all try
Like
to.
Arnold's
There's a lot of them
Yeah.
that try to do that.
You guys have any hot takes for this? Because I got some big questions here.
Hot takes. Ooh.
Yeah.
I gave mine already.
All right.
No, hot takes. I can't get any hot takes besides Arnold being able to fly.
My whole thing was the questions was like I said, put a pin in it earlier. Is again like how is Arnold's wife this naive or is she down? and playing hard to get
She's
with Ted.
DTF, bro.
Like, does anybody actually think that? Like, does he think that?
No, I
She's
don't
the
think
MILF.
She
so.
was like
She's
rolling
the
her
MILF.
eyes at him at the beginning of the movie and stuff.
Right.
Because exactly. She wasn't really like
Yeah.
impressed with his shit, and actually she found him kind of like.
So here's the big question
Creepy.
though, because you mentioned about how the neighbors are talking to him at the karate thing and
Yeah.
stuff. Are they all like widows and divorcees, or do they have husbands?
I think he's fucking all the neighbors' wives. That's what
And they have
my theory-
husbands?
Yes.
See, that's diabolical. If that's what's going
That's my
on. No,
theory.
no. See, but there's no husbands talked about in that scene.
Do
You don't
you,
see them with husbands.
No.
Because there's a character in other
Letting
movies
us fill the blanks.
where well, that's what I mean. Like, if that's really what's going on, wow, this guy's like impressive catalog.
He's making
of, like,
moves on her. She's
yeah,
a married woman.
that is impressive. He's got
She's a married woman.
married
He's
with a
making moves
kid.
on her.
Yeah.
That was my assumption.
See, but like they
He's
don't
fucked all the
explain that
neighbors'
because I thought
wives.
maybe they're divorcees as well or
Could be.
widows because you've seen.
But he
guys
was a
who are
divorce.
Widows.
But you know
He was
what?
a divorcee.
I do say I
What?
think she was entertaining
He was
him
a
more
divorced
than
guy.
she
He was,
should have.
Right.
Because why was he
Right.
putting on the fucking
If she
Christmas
shut him
lights?
down right
When he-
from the start,
yeah.
this I don't think he would have gotten.
Why
as
is
far
she
as,
no? But why is she telling him to put on the Christmas lights when she has a husband? Like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
He
Like
didn't. He like just does stuff.
he did that on his own. He put the Christmas
That's what
lights on
he
the
Yeah.
like.
roof
Yeah, like
Yeah.
because I didn't. Oh
Because
my
when
He
god!
Arnold-
came in and he was like,
when-
"Oh, I was
when
like
Arnold
trying to
came-
decorate your tree and stuff." She was like, "Please don't do this,
Yeah,
Howard."
that's
doing it
true.
Right.
instead."
Yeah.
That's
That's
true.
I think he was just
That's
doing
his
shit.
thing. He puts
So-
the tree.
It was
the
his
star on the
swagger.
tree.
So,
yeah.
He was
How-
playing to play Mr. Smooth. I'm
He's like,
divorced,
"Come take the
ladies.
tree
Come
out of
get
the
me.
box, man."
So
I'm
obviously,
divorced. Come get me, ladies.
Yeah.
That's the guy he was playing.
Phil Hartman obviously has like a history with like The Simpsons, right? He voiced some
Yeah.
Oh,
characters. So was that Ted character? Is that supposed to be like some like subversion of like the Ned Flanders kind of like
Oh,
Good kinda-
That's actually pretty
that's a
good.
good
Good.
take.
good kind of like, you know what I mean, neighbor like who's
Yeah.
like
Ned Flanders was a widow, and he
Yeah.
fucking
When he took his shirt off,
and he
you
was
know,
like
he was
the
the man that they were all looking at.
But Ned Flanders, I
Mr.
feel like
Buff.
was actually a good person,
Yeah.
kind of. Just he's living next to this idiot, but
Yeah.
this is like
Yeah.
a dark version, like of that character.
Get lost, Flanders. Oakley dokley.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
good take. I
So
like
like,
That is a
that's
good
that's
take,
who he
yeah.
reminds me of. Like when
Yeah.
I watch this movie, like that's a Ned Flanders,
He's
but
the
like,
handyman.
Well,
So, like,
hey, why don't we
Timeline.
say more
but
like,
like one that's more sinister.
Yeah.
Like,
why don't we say what's
I
his
like
name
that.
from Family Guy?
Huh?
What's his name?
Quagmire.
Quagmire from Family Guy.
no, but
Giggity.
Quagmire was like not hiding the fact that
Yeah.
he was
Yeah, he was bringing like a bunch of Asian women into the house.
Make sure the mic's moved up a bit more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
Quagmire was not like
He
trying
was-
to hide.
Yeah, like Ted's like a medium between. He's like midway between Flanders and fucking Quagmire.
Right.
Yeah.
Quagmire.
Yeah.
Also,
Quagmire.
I don't know if you guys
You-
caught it. Arnold still had that gift certificate at the end of this movie.
Did he?
Yes,
You know,
How do you know?
because he had it in his hand when the cops
Oh,
were
thank you.
busting Sinbad with the bomb,
thank
Uh
you.
huh.
and he ran out and he had it still.
Oh.
Yeah, he had the
So
gift
he
certificate.
still can get the toy at
Technically,
the end of the fucking
Even though
movie.
his kid gives away this way better version of the toy.
Huge,
Yeah,
massive
yeah,
doll.
yeah,
Yeah.
Why? Because I got the real thing at home. Or he said,
That line freaked me out, bro. That line was crazy.
and then he's
That
like,
was great.
"Aw."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by the way, Nico, you know who that the Phil Hartman character also kind of reminded me of? The father from like the priest character from The Sopranos. How he's like
Oh,
getting
yeah,
all their
yeah,
pasta
yeah,
plates
yeah,
and shit,
yeah,
and like
yeah,
he's
yeah.
kind of entertaining them all,
Yeah,
but like
yeah,
he just wants their food.
And he was
shit.
trying to bang Carmela.
Yeah. I don't know if he was like banging her or he was just like
No,
teasing her.
he wanted
Was-
to.
you
He
think
wanted
so?
to.
Yeah.
Because
Or-
those priests are allowed to have sex. I believe that.
No, they're not.
I think they are.
They
ones.
are?
There's
Oh,
certain
okay.
ones that are allowed.
I thought he was
Which
like.
ones?
There's certain religions where they are allowed to have sex. The,
Where
the
you-
priests. Yeah.
I thought
Joining
that
the
was.
church?
I thought that was a total no-no. Unless they get married. Unless they get
Because
married.
he would have been Catholic, right?
Yeah, Catholic. Yeah, they're Catholic.
I think they are allowed to, aren't they?
I think they're supposed to be married.
This is important. We need
Like,
to
I
find out.
don't-
They're married to God, right? That's the whole thing. Is that they're supposed
I don't
to be
know. I
married.
don't know if they're allowed to bang, like especially like married women. Like,
No, because like you
Well,
just said,
yeah.
but Reverend,
Ministers
but
and
Reverend-
reverends.
that's not.
Reverend-
That's not.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking Reverend because Reverend Lovejoy, he's married.
Yeah.
He has a
You're
kid,
using
right?
Simpsons as like a
Yes.
thing.
No,
like,
but I'm just saying there's certain
Yeah.
people in these positions that are allowed. I think.
so what's
to
the difference
have
between a
wives.
reverend and a father? Like,
Yeah.
The priests have their own nuns.
priest.
Right.
But anyways, that character. Well, I feel like he
What?
was like
Sorry.
That's good. I think he was like he wasn't gonna bang Carmela, but he was like like leading her
Yeah.
on that he like
He
want
was
like
tempted by it.
and it was totally like floundering with her.
Yeah,
and
he's
stuff.
definitely sleazy like that. guy, for
Yeah. That's
sure,
who he
yeah.
reminded me of. Like, and then the Carmela finds out later it's turning into a thing.
Yeah.
Carmela finds out later that like he's getting pasta plates from all the like
Yes,
the women
that's
in
right.
the fucking neighborhood. and
He's
stuff.
whoring himself out.
Yeah.
He's being all the women. She thought she was special.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Cannot wait to tell the fan club that we somehow ended up talking about Sopranos.
Yeah, with me and Nico, we always end up talking about the
During
Sopranos.
the Jingle all
No,
the
wait.
way
I just
episode.
want to. You can totally edit this part out, but with the part when
that's good.
the part when she's like going like to church and she has like a pasta plate and like trying to give it to the father, and then she finds out that he's like already eating like Rosie April's
That's right.
plate. As she's like
That's
doing
right.
confession, she's just like, oh my god.
And she
this-
throws it in the trash. Remember,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
throws them in the
But
trash.
the fact that this father is listening to a confession while eating
Right.
pasta to me is just
That's
crazy.
feasible.
Like
Yeah.
that is some next
Yeah,
level. Like he's just like, oh my god, this
Yeah.
garlic bread. Like it's,
Yeah. He's a moocher though, right? He's
Yeah.
like
he's a total piece of shit.
Yeah.
And Tony was right to call him out on his BS. Like he was a
Yeah.
fucking loser. You know?
Yeah. Just like Ted is in this movie.
Yeah,
he's,
he is.
He's the worst, but the best. Phil Hartman killed it, and so I R.I.P. Man, he was hilarious.
Is the fan club Sopranos fans or
Oh,
do they know?
yeah.
They know. Okay,
Oh,
so this is for them then.
yeah.
Like shout out to them.
They love the Sopranos.
As do I. As do we.
Of course. Anything else? Anything else? Any other questions that you guys had? Takes?
My unique question was just about did we think we already answered it though, but
What's
or
that?
did you think that they were gonna try and spin the movie into a toy franchise, and that's why they hit the
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
toy shit so hard?
Also, yes, they
But
did. And also, it should be worth mentioning.
There's a
I
sequel.
guess there is with
Larry the
stupid
Cable
Larry
Guy.
the Cable Guy.
I didn't know that until I pulled it up on Disney Plus, and I was
It's
like,
like
what
from
the fuck?
2015.
Yeah,
or
I hate
something.
I hate the unnecessary sequel. Like with the some B-list guy. They always do
I
that.
don't know, 2005. I forgot when they did it.
Don't
but
they have
I refuse
10
to
years
watch
later.
it.
Oh,
I
yeah, me
refuse to
too.
watch it.
Don't they have an American Psycho 2 with Mila
They
Kunis?
do.
Like what the
They
why?
do.
What?
Like why do you
Oh
make
my
these
God.
sequels?
I don't know if you heard, they have announced, and I was going to save this for later,
Mm.
but when we talk about movie stuff, but other movie stuff, but they have announced that they're going to be doing a remake of American Psycho by the director that just did that Challengers movie.
Luca Guadagnino.
Yeah, he's doing a remake of it, and guess who they cast?
I like
as
that
the-
filmmaker.
Guess who they cast? As
I like
Patrick
Timothy
Bateman?
Chalamet.
Nope, but close.
Tom Holland.
No,
Austin Butler.
fucking-
Austin Butler.
Fuck off with Austin Butler, man.
you know he might do a good job.
I can't.
I don't. I'm
stand
kind of
him.
against that remake because it's
Same.
such a perfect movie.
I
And Christian
agree.
Bale is so that might be Christian Bale's best movie.
I
like, for me.
agree, though, but at least they're putting some good people on it. It seems.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
far.
I like
I
that
mean-
director. I cannot stand Austin.
I'm not a
Butler
huge
being
Austin
in
Butler
Really, you don't like Austin Butler?
He was good in
No.
Dune too, though. He was really
fun.
good in
Yeah,
that.
like, he
not a
was,
fan
but
of
like,
Elvis.
No,
I didn't watch that. I didn't watch it. So.
I
No.
thought he did a really good
I
job.
could, pull off
I think
Christian
his
Bale in
personality
American
is really
Psycho.
fucking
Come on.
annoying to me. I don't want to see
I didn't.
any more of it.
I didn't see the Bike Riders. Did you guys? See
Me
that one?
neither.
I
I've
missed
heard
out
good
on
things
that.
though.
Yeah.
That's the Tom
Hardy.
Hardy.
Yeah,
one.
That's the one. And he's in it too.
Yeah.
Austin.
Okay, so a couple of fun facts here. I won't give you the full rundown here, but when I came across like some stuff on this movie while putting these notes together, apparently there was like they had like a court case that somebody claimed. I think it was a high school teacher or something that the script was stolen from him. The idea for this film.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think
That's
I have
crazy.
the article. Hold on, let me just bring up the article here for you guys quick. I'll just yeah, it's pretty
Jeez.
crazy. Brian Webster. Yeah, so Fox wins appeal of decision over script. Apparently, there was the decision handed down Friday found that Jingle All the Way, which starred Arnold Schwarzenegger, was an original work written by Randy Kornfield, who's credited as the writer of this film, and not based on a screenplay named "Could This Be Christmas," written by a Detroit high school teacher, Brian Webster.
Right.
So apparently, he filed the complaint back then that he was trying to sue them. That they stole his script idea, essentially.
Right.
That he had something similar, I guess, to Jingle All the Way.
Mhm.
well, I mean, this Christmas type of comedy
Right.
shit is very formulaic. It's not like
The plaintiff said the Fox film bore a remarkable resemblance to his script.
Right.
And I guess he was trying to sell them for. The ruling overturns a March 2001 jury verdict that awarded a small Detroit publishing firm called Murray Hill Publications $19 million. Jingle All the Way grossed $80 million at the box office and in video sales in 1996, which seems pretty
that's
impressive.
a lot.
Yeah. It was based on a treatment that was completed long before anyone at Fox had access to the script for Could This Be Christmas? So yeah, that's just one of those situations where somebody will send something into the studio and say like, you must have come across my script when you wrote this idea, and blah 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 blah. Right? He tried to get some money out of it. Right?
Yeah.
The other thing too that I had in my notes here. Apparently
8 pages of notes.
Apparently the kid that was involved in this movie, Jamie, he's had a rough life outside of here. Have you heard? Do you know some stuff about this, Max?
A lot of these kids from that era.
When I read that shit broke my heart. When it happened,
a lot of child actors from that era did not do well.
I know. Basically, he went to jail for 11 months at one point, and he suffered from schizophrenia, and then he basically stopped taking his medication, so he got himself involved in some scenarios where he ended up landing himself in jail, like driving without a license, I think domestic abuse charges, things like that. But it was because he actually had schizophrenia, which I didn't know, and it kind of makes sense because after this and Star Wars, you don't really see him. He doesn't have any.
He got, after episode 1 came out, he got bullied so hard in school that he had to actually switch schools. Like they were like teasing
because
him
he was Anakin in that
because
movie?
they didn't like him. It kind of reminds me actually of like how they treated Sofia Coppola after Godfather 3. They were just like harping on her and stuff. It's just like, and you watch those movies and they're not really the reasons those movies didn't work or whatever, if they didn't work for you or whatever. And I to me it's fucked up. Like, leave the kids alone, man.
Yeah,
and for life.
And then
like fuck off, your friend was in a movie.
Yeah.
And then the stuff with Phil Hartman as well. Like that's actually, if I have a take, it's like I feel like there's a really depressing air, like a dark cloud surrounding this movie because of just the fate of all these people that had.
That is a good
take. It kind of makes me feel like I don't feel good after I see it because I was like, I know what happened to them, like it does make me a little sad.
Well, I didn't know the thing about him. Sorry, what's his name again?
Lloyd.
Yeah,
Lloyd,
I didn't know the stuff about him. I knew obviously the stuff about Phil Hartman, but I had never knew that when I kind of was looking some stuff up, we came across that information. So yeah, it's apparently he just made his first public appearance in like a couple years ago. Like he I guess he went out of the public eye.
Interesting.
After the whole thing of him going to jail and coming out of jail, and like he just kind of vanished from the public eye after that, and obviously he's not acting anymore.
Right.
He retired in like shortly after the first Star Wars. Like
but he had a troubled life after. So
there's a few of them.
But you're right. There's a lot of them. Yeah.
This
Goldberg the goalie.
It's going to be relevant again later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goldberg the goalie. Remember from Mighty Ducks?
That's right.
That's another
drug
one.
addicts. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, are there
addicts.
any child actors that didn't turn out like crazy as fuck? Like
Oh no, John.
Macaulay Culkin's made a comeback.
He's doing great now. Yeah, I'm actually happy about him. Which is weird because his major drug days he was with Mila Kunis, like, which is like
party.
Well, I'm like, was she also doing drugs? We were just having this conversation the other day, me and Christine, but he's doing great now. Yeah. He's married. He's doing
Brenda's song, right?
Yeah.
No, he's doing
There's
great.
2 kids with Brenda.
Yeah, and he does.
Good for him.
He's actually embracing the Home Alone thing. Like he goes to screenings now and does Q&A and stuff
Good
for
for
him.
him.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Like I actually like him, and his brother obviously.
His brother's killing it.
Gary Culkin's killed it this year. The last couple of years, really. But
I've loved him since Scott Pilgrim.
He was awesome.
I always forget that he was in that. Yeah.
Wallace, whatever his name was.
Yeah. And then what else? Sorry, we were talking about like troubled stars.
Kid actors.
Jason Bateman. He.
What was he?
He was on. Yeah, he was on.
A Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's. I knew.
Normal.
Yeah,
I don't think
I
I've
guess.
seen much of that contextually. I probably would.
but he was a kid actor. Like,
Yeah.
He was a kid actor, and like
He'll always talk about it.
he
talked
talked about his
He's
drug
just
days
kind of-
too. Like
Yeah,
he
it's
partied.
drugs.
He's just kind of
He
neurotic
partied-
as an adult now.
Remember, you got money when you got money as a kid, then you get money.
You're
Yeah.
forgetting before Arrested Development, his career was like over. Like
It was about-
Arrested Development like saved his career
Yeah.
because he
Wow.
had
I
he
didn't
went,
know him
he went
before
through
that.
the drug day. Well, no,
Oh, he's in a new movie
he
now.
was in Teen Wolf too.
Yeah, you remember that? He took Michael J. Fox's spot.
Arrested Development was that? You know what? I think
That was his breakthrough.
the
love that.
first thing I saw him in was that fucking Will Smith movie where he's
Hancock.
yeah, that's the first thing
He's
I ever
in
saw.
Hancock.
Yeah,
I don't
he's-
remember that.
he's the guy- he's like
I've
the
only seen
PR
that like once.
He's like the PR guy that's trying to help
That's the one
Will
with the
Smith
drunk superhero,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
clean up his
That's the Will
reputation.
Smith one,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah,
I
I've seen
think that was the
once.
first thing I like really knew of him in,
Yeah.
and then Arrested Development.
That was the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, then he's
I
got.
don't think
Now he's
anyone
got.
has
He's
made
got one
a-
out right now on Netflix. He's got
Oh,
I
one.
just watched it
Carry
yesterday.
on, yeah.
It's not that good.
I didn't think he wasn't the main actor, so I didn't think he was going to be.
No, he's kind of
He's one of the top two, right?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah. The guy from the Kingsman is the main actor.
Yeah.
That guy, I forget his name. The guy. Who
I don't know
plays
who the king.
Secret
I don't know,
Service.
but I know.
Colin Firth,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's his name. Yeah. No, isn't that the older guy?
like his mentor.
Yeah, that's
Amazing.
the older guy. No, I'm talking about the younger kid that plays the.
Taron Edgerton or
yeah,
something.
Edgerton. Yeah, that's his last name. Yeah.
The guy who played Elton John.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Taron Egerton.
Yes.
Egerton,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the guy. Yes. Okay. So legacy this film has left. Honestly, very simple. Christmas movie classic, as far as I'm concerned.
Nah.
It is. I mean, that's the legacy it has. It still plays to this day. I hear about like I said, my friend that showed this to his kids. They love it.
Yeah.
Like it's still a Christmas movie. I think the fact that it's a Christmas movie is its legacy, and it's a Christmas movie. I think that people still run back. And like Max mentioned earlier, it's good for the whole family. Like he even watched it with his younger brother, and it holds up. I think it has a little bit something for everybody. It may not have familiar stars anymore, probably for people watching them now. Like other than so I mean, like I don't think Arnold is as like he's out in the public, but he's not like a star, and that's like I know he does.
Phil
TV,
Hartman's dead. Jake Lloyd's
right.
not dead, yeah.
So
Rita Wilson, nobody fucking knows who that is. Yeah.
Well, she was one of the first to have COVID.
Sinbad, like
Sinbad's not doing so
not doing so good. Yeah, he had a stroke.
When,
Jim Belushi, nobody fucking really pays attention to.
No. So, but I think the legacy is just the fact that it's a Christmas movie. Like, and I think that it'll always have the potential for people to revisit it as a result, right?
Yeah.
So, and and the fact that Arnold's in it, honestly, like this is the fact that he can put that on his resume. I'm in a Christmas movie, like you know what I mean. And I think we're living now like in a time where it's really hard to produce a Christmas movie that's actually like rewatchable. They try them every year, and they just don't stick. These movies don't stick. I think the last one that really stuck for me was probably Elf, right? I think that like
you know what's a guilty pleasure of mine? Christmas movies. It's probably not for kids, but The Night Before with Seth Rogen.
You know what?
I love that movie, dude.
I usually watch that every year too. You're right.
That is one of my favorites.
That's probably the
Joseph
last
Gordon-Levitt.
But I don't think it's considered by everybody.
That's fine. No, that's more like a gem. I feel like
I watched that one. No,
I love that movie.
I love that movie too. The fact that Seth Rogen just does all those drugs
and he goes to church. Oh my god! He's like the Jews didn't kill Jesus.
We watch that movie every year. We watch that movie every year too. That's part of our lineup.
That is a classic, bro. I can watch that movie not even during Christmas. It's just so funny. Anthony Mackie.
All right. Movies to pair with. Julie, why don't you start us off? Because I know this is like your favorite category usually. Yeah.
I feel like I have to defend my picks already, but I don't. I think I did okay on this.
I have 2 exactly.
I don't want to. I have 7.
Nice.
Now Jay's trying to think of something.
I think that, and I might.
Hopefully, he doesn't rush you along. Like
I'm trying not to step on anybody else's picks because a couple of these are going to be obvious.
Well, I don't know, Max. You were like, I have 17 different.
No, I did not have 17. Shut the F up. I had 8, and this guy had the tobacco monkey on his back. So he's like, hurry up. And I'm like, bro. And I'm like, dude, what the hell, man? Like, let me get my
tobacco monkey.
No, he's right. It took me to like tell him to finish.
This guy wanted to smoke his cigarette so badly that I couldn't.
Max was like, well, I got 2 more, but whatever. And I'm like, no, Max.
Yeah. I had exactly 8 picks. Okay, not 17.
I helped you out.
And she has 7. So where's that energy for her now? Like, come on now.
I think I might be stepping on other people's.
I have 20 picks.
I think I might be stepping on other people's toes with these top 2. I put down Home Alone and The Santa Claus.
Nice.
I literally had both of those.
Yeah.
It's undeniable though.
Yes.
It's okay.
I also wrote down. Okay, well the reason I put those 2 down, I feel like that embodies this era of like those Christmas movies.
And
like
the Santa Claus, there's a lot of themes in the Santa Claus that are also in this film.
Tim Allen
could
have easily played this, maybe not this part, but like it's the same kind of era and genre to me. Home Alone, that just feels also just epitome of this era of movies, and especially the Christmas genre too. I wrote down Small Soldiers also.
I feel like you bring that movie every time.
She loves that movie.
I do love that movie. Phil Hartman's in it though. That's my connection. Also, it is kind of a Christmas movie. It's about toys.
Yeah.
That's a movie I saw so many times as a kid, and now I don't remember a single detail about it. Like I have to go back
obsessively for a
I had the
long time.
VHS.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
I also wrote that this is okay. My next few picks are just because it feels like it's so 90s big box stars to me, the same way that Arnold felt like he was like people would run to see his movies, this type of shit. I wrote down Liar Liar.
Yeah, I have that. That's one of my two.
I wrote down
Oh, good one.
Yeah,
I didn't even think
that's
of
a
that.
great. Yeah,
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Billy Madison and Austin Powers.
Billy Madison. and
Mrs.
Austin Powers.
Doubtfire, I get as a double feature. What
Billy
is it?
Madison?
Austin Powers?
And Billy Madison.
No,
Why Billy Madison?
Just the same era, I feel like.
All right.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it's in the same box in my brain.
I don't know. The humor wise, I would say that it doesn't.
Billy
fit
Madison.
this.
Well, I was just trying to
Mrs.
find-
Doubtfire for sure.
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
And Liar Liar.
To me, Liar Liar is
Liar
the
Liar
clear
is
one
right.
because of the father son thing, and then
Yes.
like
Yeah.
I love
you know,
Liar
like he's
Liar.
trying to make it
Yeah.
up to his son. Like the whole time when Jake Lloyd and Arnold are going back and forth, and he's trying to get back, and it's like totally just reminded me of the relationship Jim
Yes.
Carrey has with his son.
And
in
it
that
was the
movie.
same thing because he was too busy at work.
Yeah, he's constantly
Yeah.
making these promises to his son and totally
Yes.
just
Yes.
messing.
But in that one, he's already divorced, and there's another father
Yeah.
guy in his life,
Yeah.
which is kind of the other side of things. That's like the Ted position for.
Yeah.
And that's also a thing about how like fantasy kind of emerges like a little bit because he makes
Yeah.
that wish that
That's
he can.
right.
So it's kind of like nonsensical in a
Yeah.
way. Like
Right.
so, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's a good
You know,
one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So
Nice.
that was the first one.
Jay.
You know what? I can't think of like anything to pair with, bro. I mean, besides the Home Alone, besides the Home Alone,
Home Alone, yeah.
besides the Home Alone,
Home Alone's an
and
obvious.
I mean, I obviously don't. I'm not a big Christmas person when it comes to fucking watching Christmas movies.
Neither am I really,
right?
but yeah.
So something to pair with this is something. Yeah, fuck. I don't even know. It was too corny for me to think. Of anything. No, hey, as an adult watching it, it was to make sense of what I would pair it with. You know, the fuck am I gonna say? Besides Home Alone and any of the Christmas movies like
Right.
that have come out, right?
Right.
And I don't watch. The
I mean, you
Christmas
could have said
movies.
those, but
Yeah, I
you
don't
didn't do
really
that.
watch this.
Yeah,
so-
no, but I mean,
What about another
no,
Arnold
because she already
movie?
took them. So I'm
Well,
like,
that's
Oh
what I mean.
yeah, okay.
I
Sure.
gave
Right?
you the.
I
it's
can't
like,
say,
I'm gonna
I
step
can't
on
say, yeah,
people's
okay,
toes
go
with this one.
after this, go watch Total
I should have
Recall.
made
Why
him.
not?
I should have made him go.
If you're feeling like an
first.
Arnold movie, go watch Total Recall.
Yeah, go watch Total
Well,
Recall.
okay,
Go
if
watch
you feel
Die
it, but I
Hard.
can't see
Kindergarten
watching it as a double feature in that sense. Like, it just two totally different movies. Two
Alright.
like one corny, one fucking actually pretty cool. You know,
Max.
So I had two, right? Liar Liar was one of them, and then I have another one. This probably is a horrible thing to pair with because tonally they're so different, but like thematically they're very similar in terms of like what the movie's about. Like I feel like this movie is sort of about like in relation to like how the holidays have become this fucking shopping frenzy,
Yeah.
warfare kind of thing, and
Yeah.
that's Eli Roth's Thanksgiving that he made last year. There is an exact scene in that movie where
the Black Friday.
the Black Friday, they're waiting outside the store, waiting, and then the second the store opens, everyone's getting
trampled.
trampled and people are dying in horrific ways and stuff. So that just like
I
recalled me
watched
to that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that just recalled me to that one. So
Yeah, mine's pretty easy too. I think you already took a couple of them, but I had Kindergarten Cop for a comedy duo, like a double feature with Arnold. Like my favorite comedies of his were like the tone I think is somewhat similar. Like he's with kids in that film as well. I mentioned it earlier. I think that makes a good double feature for Arnold. I wouldn't go. I mean, there's action in Kindergarten Cop as well, but
Right.
but I wouldn't go like as heavy into some of his other action films as a double feature because the point that Jay made, I agree. Like
it's hard, right? With the action stuff to go with this.
I mean, I wanted an Arnold double feature, and Home Alone and Santa Claus were the other two that I had. But yeah, I'll admit on that, even me on this one, I phoned that one, and I only came up with a couple for this one because I
The
love
Santa Claus is another like a consistent.
I just think that's
never
the
saw
perfect
those.
same. I think that's the perfect pairing is Santa Claus
Yeah.
with this.
I never
honestly.
watched that
Tim,
movie.
yeah,
Oh,
with
it's
Tim
good.
Allen, right?
And you know what's good about
Not
that?
any of them.
You know what's good about that one too? Like we again, same thing, very adult lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
There's a lot of like adult jokes in that movie. Where
See,
he
that was
made-
been in
Well,
a
Tim
lot of
Allen
Christmas movies.
is
Wasn't it
funny that
Christmas-
way,
Is that
too.
him? Christmas with the Cranks?
Yeah.
Or is that
Yep,
Matthew?
that's
Yeah.
also that's,
Matthew Broderick is in that too.
Meet the
Yeah.
Fockers. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's
Is that a
good one.
Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes place during
Oh,
Christmas.
it does.
Yeah.
Because they go to
Good job.
Florida.
Yeah.
They go to
There you
Florida. I
go.
love
There
that
you go.
movie.
There
Meet
you
the
go.
Fockers.
Nobody
See?
thought of
There you
that.
go.
If you took 1 minute to do that before coming to the show, you would have had one.
I don't know. Yeah.
Bro, I'm on fucking 4 hours sleep, man, in the weekend. So leave me alone today. I'm trying to bring my best. I even put a hat on to make you guys.
Ah,
happy.
make me feel bad
He
now.
dressed up.
Hey,
All right.
I wanted to
in-
be your little elf.
In the spirit of the holidays, I'll leave you alone. Okay, I'll stop bragging on you.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Okay, well that's pretty much it though, honestly, for this. Before we get into our usual categories of kind of touching on what we've been watching lately, what we're looking forward to watching. But I did want to mention, because I failed to mention at the top of the show, if you guys check this out, make sure to check between Christmas and New Year's, we're gonna have our favorite movies that we've watched this year episode that's gonna be dropping, along with me, JT's annual year-end media review that we do in the Late Night Chat Network every year. So
takes
that's
a lot of studying.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where me and Jay, we talk about our favorite movies, TV shows, podcasts, and music that we've kind of we've enjoyed this year, any kind of other forms of media.
This sucks because all the music starts coming out at the end of the
I
year.
know.
The fourth quarter. Music, fourth quarter
Yeah.
always goes crazy.
Movies,
Yeah.
music, everything.
Everything
Yeah.
usually. They
So there's a lot
But
that
this
kind of
year-
gets
this year's
left on
been
the
good.
table as a
Yeah.
result too, like things that we don't have a chance to kind of like talk about. But just tune into our shows during the year if you want to hear about those. But that's why we figured we would all do the movies this year together on this movie show and talk about
of
those.
course, we got to.
Right. So so make sure to tune in for those though. That will be we take some time off around the holidays and we'll be back in the new year. At the end of this episode, Julie's gonna actually let us know who's gonna be joining us and what movie we'll be watching.
So I'm dying to
So
know.
it's yeah, we don't know
I'm
right
so
now. I
good.
don't know either. So stay tuned for that, everybody. But
Mhm.
make sure to check out that episode of our favorite movies of 2024. We're all going to be giving you our top 5 list for that. All right, so let's get into what we've been watching, what we're looking forward to watching for this last bit of the year. Max, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of stuff lately since last time, just because I was just busy with stuff. So I only for whatever reason, I don't even remember why I did this, but I just felt like the urge to rewatch Jackie Brown. So I don't know
We
why.
talked about it.
It's
We talked about it last episode, I think, Jackie Brown.
Last one you were
That's
on?
I was on.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a month ago.
Well,
Probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
We just recently talked
Yes,
about
yeah,
it. So the
yeah,
reason
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
It still holds up to me. It's just like it's one
I
of
love
the
that
best.
movie.
I
Me
liked
too.
it.
I love
that
it too.
movie.
Hopefully, maybe we can do that one day. But and then this random movie that I didn't even know existed. It's like because I guess it came out before I was born, like right the year before I was born, and a lot of stuff from like you're just like, whoa, this movie exists. There's this movie called I don't know, maybe you guys would know because you were alive during that time. Immortal Beloved. Have you heard of that movie?
No.
I'm
Where
dead right now.
Gary Oldman
Okay.
plays Beethoven.
Oh,
It's like about the life of Beethoven, but
Well,
like
you had me at Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
he
He's
plays
great.
Gary
Yeah.
Oldman, and then it's like my mom wanted to see it. She's like, oh, but like I don't know. I guess my sister mentioned it or whatever, so I got it for them. And then I was watching, and I was like, how have I never heard of this movie? And then the movie, the line of the movie, Immortal Beloved, is he had this like love letter that was addressed to someone, and there's like this grand mystery as who this person was, and then like kind of the story kind of unfolds through that lens. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, is this kind of like they were trying to do like the Amadeus thing with Beethoven?
Is he deaf in it?
Yeah, Beethoven is deaf.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
that's, I mean, like, is he acting?
yeah, he's deaf. He's acting deaf. And Gary Oldman is one of the greatest actors, and I don't know if this is like maybe like
he transforms himself. into,
he's
like,
amazing.
whoever
He's
he plays.
awesome.
Yeah.
He's
like a
awesome.
big method actor kind of thing. Yeah.
But I don't know how well he was great in this movie. But you know what's so funny, because I know you guys are gonna make fun of me because of the whole like I keep bringing up the whole Steve Jobs thing, but like these biography movies, they really teach you about people that you don't really know a lot about. And I feel like Beethoven is like that one guy. Is like we all know he made this music or whatever, but I don't think a lot of people, other than he was deaf, I don't think a lot of people actually know his life.
I would not admit to know it.
It
No,
was-
I don't know.
It was no, like that's what I'm saying. It's common for people not to know anything about like the greater details, and it's like, whoa, that guy lived a really, really harsh and really tragic life. So it was good just on an educational level. It was pretty interesting.
When was that made?
1994.
Okay.
It's like whoa, that was like a 90s. I was like, never heard of this movie. And
Right.
Amadeus is also one of my personal favorites. Like when they played Mozart and the guy from Scarface played Salieri, F. Murray Abraham and stuff. And
Oh.
did you see that movie?
No.
The rivalry between
No.
Mozart and Salieri, and
I've
that's
never
actually a
seen that.
huge inspiration for Oppenheimer.
Okay.
Christopher Nolan cited
yeah,
it because of the whole Robert Downey Jr. character.
I've heard
and-
it talked about before, but I've never seen
Have you seen that one,
yet.
Julie?
No.
Amadeus? Okay, it's a really good movie. It's about like genius versus like jealous guy who's like a mediocre
Right.
composer, and it's a really good. Even if you don't like classical music, I would recommend it. But
So
That's
genius
kind of
as
my alley
opposed
too,
to
but no.
yeah, exactly. So And so then this is like this, but that one came out in the 80s. Amadeus, like
Okay.
84, and this is 94. It's like 10 years later. They make a movie with Gary Oldman. And it's just like I was just shocked I'd never heard of it. So it was a good
both
movie.
of those to my watch list.
Yeah. Hopefully, like you get
Yeah.
something out of those ones. So
Yeah.
that's it for me.
That's it.
Yeah.
What anything you're looking forward?
Oh yeah, looking forward to. Okay, so like we're coming at the end of the year, Nosferatu. Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Like,
I think we're all gonna just
I
say
think we're all saying that. I don't know if I'll see it Christmas Day, but we'll see. And then
yeah,
maybe a little after Christmas, maybe I'll watch it
Mhm.
when it kind of quiets down a bit. But also,
That's kind of scary.
I got tickets to see the Seven IMAX, the 30th anniversary edition of Seven, but in IMAX. January 5th, I'm in there, baby.
Wow.
Fucking
I
bitch.
didn't even know they were doing that.
Yeah, they're bringing back because it's the 30th anniversary of
Where
Seven.
are you going to watch it?
Scotiabank.
Yeah,
And I'm
We
gonna go see
reviewed
it.
that, didn't we?
we've done
You
something.
guys did Seven, right? Okay,
Yeah.
and they're making an IMAX restoration for
Yeah.
the 30th anniversary, and they're doing it like
Wow.
3 days. And then also for some reason, I guess in celebration of Seven's 30th anniversary, they're also playing a lot of David Fincher's movies in Cineplex. Like you
Okay.
see, they're playing like The Social Network, which I want to check out.
Are
They're
they
playing
doing
The Game.
Zodiac.
Zodiac, I can't remember they're doing Zodiac,
That'd
but
be
they're
interesting.
even doing Benjamin Button. They're doing The Killer. They're doing
I don't really care.
Panic Room.
Hey, I didn't mind Benjamin Button.
They're doing Panic
What does
Room.
Fincher have to do with Benjamin Button?
He
He
directed
directed
it.
He
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
I
That's
didn't
like
know
the
that.
one. That's like the one that's like, whoa, he made this one.
Yeah,
But-
it's one of his films that
What?
isn't like a lot of his other films.
I like
doesn't
that
fall
movie, but
into
that
that
doesn't fit at
category.
all. I didn't know that.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah.
Fuck.
But I definitely do want to check
I didn't know
out.
that.
Yeah.
I definitely do want to check out one of those Social Network screenings because that's also one of my favorite. Also, another Sorkin script, right? We were talking about.
Right.
Did I watch Social
And then,
Network? I
uh,
think so.
That's a good one.
And The Game is also another favorite of mine with
Yes.
Michael Douglas. Maybe I'll check that one out too. We'll see.
Look at this guy.
I threw on the other day, which I hope we talk about it someday on the show here as well. Speaking of Michael Douglas, I threw on.
Falling Down.
No, I like Falling
Oh,
Down
fuck,
too.
that's the
Yeah,
best.
yeah. No, I threw on Basic Instinct. For
Oh,
a
yeah.
bit the other day.
Didn't we do that one too?
No.
Falling Down.
No, you wanted to do that movie at one point. We just never ended up doing
Maybe we
it.
should pick it
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, another movie I want to check
Oh,
out.
I got one for next time.
Just 'cause- that I don't think it's gonna be a great movie, but it's like a perfect movie to see in that time of the year. Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. Like that shit looks
That comes
fire.
out in January.
I think it
right?
comes out in January. Yeah. I like the name of it, Pantera. I just like
The
that.
first
shit.
Den of Thieves was good. Yeah, I
I mean, it was like a nice
Sounds
little.
like a video game.
It was
Yeah,
like it's like a nice little Heat ripoff.
It's a
kinda
Heat
like-
ripoff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's
The
with
first one had 50 in it,
Gerard Butler's in it. It's on Netflix.
and
I think.
it's Ice Cube's son is
Ice
in
Cube's
it.
son,
Yeah,
it's very good.
and
yeah.
they're making a sequel, and it looks the trailer looks good.
It does.
It does look good. I want
It
to check
does.
that out.
That's one of the faves, the rewatchables, right? That's
Yeah.
Bill and CR's favorite.
Yeah,
movie.
CR of course because
Well,
he's
it's
a
a
huge
Heat ripoff,
yeah.
right? Yeah. So, all right. How about you, Jay?
Hey, what do you got?
I started watching Gladiator 2 yesterday.
Oh, nice.
I
we gotta
found
talk
a-
about that.
found a
I haven't
good
seen the
copy,
first
bro.
one.
Like classic copy. So
Oh yeah.
it must have been stolen. It must have been stolen from the theater.
You liking it?
It's different.
Oh, so you watched an illegal stream of
No,
a
no,
thing
no,
and,
no, no. I was
put it on your
I was
fucking
borrowing
high
it.
horse
I was
2 seconds
borrowing it
ago.
from a friend. I was borrowing it.
Yeah,
from
borrowing it from a friend.
Uh-huh.
All
yeah.
right. It's
Then he
not,
filmed from his phone.
he was sharing files with me. Okay. He was sharing files with me. That's not against the law.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. But yeah, that I started. I didn't get to finish it all. Yeah, because fuck, it's a lot.
Yeah.
How
Um,
long is it?
I didn't like it.
2
2.5.
hours and 20 minutes. Yeah.
So it was a little bit much. Honestly,
I can't
I'm
watch
looking-
movies in
Well, you
parts
didn't
like
finish
that,
it.
though.
You didn't finish it, right?
no,
No.
You
no,
can't
that's
watch
why I don't wanna
movies
get-
in what? Sorry.
Like in parts like he does. He'd be like, I didn't
Oh.
finish it. I can't do that. If I'm gonna sit, if I know it's like 2.5 hours
Commit
long,
the time.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
like,
Usually
all
you're
right,
gonna
I'll
fall
just wait
asleep.
until I can sit
But
through it.
how often do you sit down and watch a movie that long?
Like,
2.5 hour movie.
it depends.
Because wasn't one of your gripes about not watching Megalopolis is because it's too long?
I'm also hearing all of this stuff online about how it's shit. And I know that's everybody's fucking gripe about
Oh,
what
I
nobody
wanna
wants
see-
to watch
Oh,
it.
actually, speaking of movies, I want to watch Joker 2 now, just because Tarantino and Roger Avery fuck with it. So-
Shocking.
Oh,
Yeah, I wanna
now-
check that
now. Hey, after I fucking praised it, it's
Oh,
all
you
good.
like that movie?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you did like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
JT has good taste.
bro. The thing is, I like stuff with music. I like stuff with fucking like that. You were
That's
talking about that
the
Mozart thing.
strangest thing
and-
to me. that
Amadeus.
JT's like, I like
Have you
Yeah.
seen that?
No, I would like to
should
because
check
I
it
love
out.
piano. I love.
You
the
would love
fucking-
it. You would
bro,
love that movie.
I forgot JT used to play the organ and shit. He likes that.
I love that
Yeah,
fucking
he-
sound.
He used to play the organ.
I got.
You
I,
should
you know
watch
what's on
that.
my rotation. Yeah, I play the
The one
fucking.
between his legs.
Yeah, I used to.
the skin
Um,
flute is what he
yeah.
used to play.
I used
Like Andre 3000.
That's,
got that.
there's a
stick on
reason why that. Well, there's certain ones that are always on my playlists on music because it's got piano like Billy Joel and fucking Elton
Yeah.
John and fucking Queen and fucking.
I mean, when
Just
Yeah,
after
didn't
did
go
you
off.
know Jay's an idiot savant? You never knew that.
idiot savant, yeah,
She put a piano in front of him and
I
see
could,
what
I could believe it.
It's the act. I told you.
Actually, I will say like after
I'm not nowhere near as good as my youngest brother there, but
after
yeah,
watching,
he could play Beethoven and that kind of shit. You'd probably get a boner.
I was gonna say, get a boner. I was gonna say after watching that Beethoven movie, it did make me want to like actually like listen to more of his music. Like I'm
The
not.
piano's beautiful.
He's
bro.
he's a genius. He was a genius. Like
one of these days I'm gonna invite JT over just to play the piano.
Yeah, I would love to see
I would
that.
have to practice. I haven't done
I would love to
fucking
see
20
that.
Nah, it's all
years.
muscle memory, dude.
20 years. No,
Wait, but
it's
you
been a
didn't.
while.
You didn't finish Gladiator 2. You said,
No.
right?
No, I didn't finish it.
Are
That's
you
why-
going to, or
Of course, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I just didn't have enough time.
or was
to
it just
actually-
bullshit? That's why you're like,
No,
fuck this
I didn't have
movie.
enough time. I want to see it through. If I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna watch it through.
Yeah,
But
you had to watch Jingle All the Way, sadly.
that, and
Sadly.
yeah, there's a bunch of
Kid
TV
homework.
shows that keep.
I don't know
coming
what
out,
I
so-
would rather watch. Honestly, that's a toss up.
Right? What you go?
Gladiator 2 or Jingle All the Way. That's
Yeah,
probably Jingle All the Way because it's shorter.
but no, I really that's movie wise. Maybe in this since the last time we did a movie show, I think that was probably it when it came to movies. But there's stuff like Nosferatu I want to watch. I want to watch that
Facts.
fucking Lion King one, the Mustafa one.
Mustafa.
Mufasa, whatever. As I'm,
Yeah,
as I'm combing my beard,
We
Mustafa.
watched it
Bro.
Sorry, dude. I'm like, there's always something stupid that's come out of my mouth, right? I don't mean
Hey,
to.
it's pretty
I don't
great
mean
show
to,
this
dude.
time, but yeah.
I can't wait for the live action Mustafa.
Yo, do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember that Family Guy joke where the guy's like, what's up with Disney and all their sequels? Like, what is this? It's like Aladdin 4.
Right.
Jafar might need glasses.
Yeah.
And he's like in the he's in the autopsy.
You make jokes about that, but back in the day, they did do direct to video sequels.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
that. There's like Simba's Pride. There's like 3.
Timon and Pumbaa
There's a
crap
lot of
and all
Aladdin.
that shit.
Those were good though.
Yeah.
Those were
The
good.
third one's called King of Thieves. Maybe that's why I'm thinking of Den of
Oh,
Thieves.
that's right.
Yeah.
But then at a certain point, like when they get to that, the third film, all the voices are like different actors
yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's
The
not
animation style is
yeah,
different.
like
Yeah.
Robin
Half-
Williams
it's like a
is in,
third of the
the
bud.
genie. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's-
yeah, fact.
the only person they could afford still was Gilbert Godfrey as the parent.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
They were consistent with the Lion King ones though. I think
Yeah,
Matthew
probably.
Broderick came for all of those and all the got Nathan Lane or whatever.
Mustafa.
Sorry,
I can't get over that.
Derailed.
That was good. So
Sorry, because now I'm
Do you
thrown
want to
off.
see that shit, dude?
Yeah,
I wanna
why
watch
not, bro?
Mufasa. I want to
No.
watch it.
I
It's just
really,
the
I've
first
been
time
growing
doing
up
it.
watching it
didn't
as a
like
cartoon.
I didn't really like
Oh,
the live action.
Well, I'll
Lion
wait
King.
my turn.
But growing up watching it as a cartoon too, I mean that was
Weren't
awesome.
you 15 and
Hakuna
chasing
Matata,
tail
bro.
back by the time when that movie came out?
What
That was
it?
great.
What?
Weren't you 15 and chasing tail as you always?
Not when that one came out. That was a little later on. I was done. I already got my hormones out. I found the skin flute, and there we go.
You found the skin.
Yeah.
Okay, you're
And
on.
then
He
Hakuna
was
Matata.
playing the skin
And then
flute
I
with
started
Kenny
watching
G.
Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he started singing Hakuna
Did you guys-
Matata.
did you
It's a
guys like that?
wonderful thing.
Did you guys like that live action? Lion
Means
King?
no worries. What are you
Didn't see
talking
it.
about?
The last one, I haven't
the live
seen it.
the John Favreau.
I haven't seen it.
It's garbage.
Didn't see it.
No. What else did I want to watch? Carry On, the one I was telling you about. You said it's not worth it, but I'll check it out. I'll be the critic of that one.
It was okay. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah,
but yeah.
And that Craven, the Craven one.
Oh,
What's it
That
called?
looks kind of sick.
I don't know. I just want to see it. I want to.
I don't know if I'll watch it in theaters, but I wouldn't mind watching.
Well,
it.
I'm not gonna watch it in
Craven the
theaters.
Hunter, the Spider-Man villain, and it's like
Oh.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
But there
is
was
like
for some
I feel
reason there was
bad
a
for
few.
He's the newest person getting bad reviews for one of these Sony Spider-Man movies.
No,
I like Aaron.
He'll bounce back.
I like, yeah, he
If it-
will.
if it tanks, whatever.
They're talking about him for the new Bond for a while now. Have you
You
heard
think
about that?
is he British? He's British, right?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. But like I think I sent it to you guys the featurette of the Craven the Hunter.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the action
I thought these were
choreography
movies
looks
you've
sick.
watched.
Like that's why I'd want to watch it. Just the
Yeah.
action scenes.
I'm just out on Sony Spider-Man.
No, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. They don't have the best track record.
No. Anything else, Jay?
More BS.
There was some, I feel like there was something else that was.
More BS.
Yeah, more
like
BS. More
Oh.
bullshit.
I think it was that one there. No,
It's
not
morbid time.
That's yeah.
It's
No,
terrible.
there was a couple. I think I've seen commercials for stuff that's coming out too around Christmas Day, and I just
Nosferatu's coming.
yeah, I
out.
know
It's
that
coming out
one, but there's a
Christmas
couple
Day?
other
Yeah.
ones that
Oh,
I
shit.
haven't seen. And I know I've seen them on here at one point, like where they were showing what they were, and I just can't remember them off the top of my head. But there's a few that are coming out this
Okay.
last near
Well,
the
if
end
it
of the
comes up,
year.
say
We'll get back to you.
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
remember.
well-
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking some stuff up, but
Me?
there's a
Yeah.
few. Oh, Heretic.
Wait, before Julie
Oh,
gets
that's
into-
Heretic,
Is
yeah.
it?
Heretic, yeah.
Oh, Heretic. I wanna
right.
see
Yeah,
that
I
too.
didn't pronounce
It's
it
good.
right.
I also want to see that conclave that you're
Good.
talking about. I want to see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
but it's in Italian, bro.
No, it's not.
Well, maybe I just don't have the audio set right.
It's not an
What's it called?
Italian.
You wanna,
There's some Italian in it, but it's not like almost all of them are English speaking.
No,
right?
you know
Um,
what? I think when I seen it when I was watching it, it didn't have the subtitles or whatever on it.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They weren't uploaded yet, if you know what I mean.
I
Yeah,
see, I
so-
see.
Wait, Julie,
Um,
before you get into your
yeah.
face, one thing I wanted to say, like it was like a question related to Jingle All the Way. I wanted to ask you guys if this is movies taking place in 2024. What do you think the kid is asking his dad to get him?
Fucking
Like,
iPod.
like an
iPad.
iWatch,
iPhone.
an Apple Watch or some
Yeah.
shit like Meta
Probably.
Yeah.
or like a Tesla or some shit.
An Oculus.
My dad was giving me
Fucking
Like, what the
Switch.
fuck are these kids into these days? It's like
Electronics.
electronics.
Bro.
A few years ago, the big
Steam
one
Deck.
was those Hatchimals for there. I
And
remember.
now there's all
That's a
kinds of-
while back,
Yeah, it's
but
a while back. Yeah.
But now there's all kinds of like you said, Oculus
Oculus,
and
VR
stuff
stuff,
and all
yeah,
that
yeah,
VR
yeah.
crap. That's what they're gonna be.
Yeah, it'd be something crazy expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for like anybody that has
This
a lot
guy
of
was
kids
losing
and
his
has
shit
to
for
fucking
paying $200 for a Spanish Turbo Man in this one, right?
Yeah.
$200 exactly. That's nothing.
300.
Was it
was
300?
300 bucks.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
wow! Even now, like I mean, you gotta try to go find an Oculus for less than
Nintendo thing
that.
is 400 bucks now.
Yeah.
You know,
Sorry,
That
sorry.
fucking games that you have
That's a good
there.
point though.
No, that's a good question. Yeah.
So true. Though.
Stuff I've seen lately. Just on a thread on a craft night where we're like, let's just put some bullshit movie on in the
Nice.
background. We landed on Hot Frosty. It was fucking terrible.
I heard about
Hot
this.
Frosty
movie.
was so-
awful.
It's a new romantic comedy, Christmas romantic
It's
comedy.
just like-
Yeah.
Who's in it?
I don't know.
The
Yeah.
girl from Gretchen Wieners from Mean Girls is the main
Oh,
That's his favorite
main
show.
woman.
good shit.
Mean Girls.
It's
I
not
don't know what
Mean
her name
Girls.
is.
It's
That's
not a
a movie.
show. It's shows suck. Remember, right? So that's a good movie.
Except that one that he
The
likes.
guy
What's
who
it called?
plays
What's
the
his name?
snowman that
Fucking,
came to life, because that's
wife.
literally
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
not Mean
Frosty the
Girls.
Snowman, but if they did it in 2024. But
Didn't they have that Jack Frost thing back
same
in the day?
shit.
Yeah,
Same shit. But
That
this
Michael
guy,
Keaton movie.
Was that a Michael Keaton
Yeah,
movie?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
literally just like the story of Frosty the Snowman, and it was just so crap.
Yeah.
But like
Why? It's Michael
Gretchen
Keaton.
Wieners,
Anything.
I don't know what her name was in the fucking movie. I
Michael
actually
Keaton
don't
isn't
know.
in
What are you
No,
She's
but
talking
hot
you
though.
said-
That Gretchen
Didn't you just say
Wieners.
Michael
Yeah, she's
Keaton?
fine.
That's Jack Frost.
Yeah.
The
Jack
guy
Frost.
that becomes the snowman looks like if you put Jamie Campbell Bower through the dryer. Like I don't know who he is. He's just
Who's
some
that?
the guy that plays Vecna.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who?
Okay, from Stranger Things.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't watch that
He
show.
looks a lot like that guy if you put
Oh.
him if you got him from Wish.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's just like he clearly got ripped for the movie, but like the movie's so ridiculous, it's such a waste.
Right.
But there's like what's his name from fucking Brooklyn Nine-Nine is in it.
Andy Samberg.
No, the guy that's his
Joe
buddy.
Tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joe Tree is in it.
He's
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
funny.
Daryl from The Office is in it.
okay. So there's some all right people. in
Fucking,
it.
there's more people in it that are
Yeah.
just like whatever daytime comedy people.
Yeah.
Right.
But
TV people.
yeah, and
Those hacks.
it was not good. But like it was like whatever you put on the background is just fucking
They're
noise.
B players.
The plot was not great.
Right.
I watched Girl Interrupted for the first time last
You
night.
haven't seen that?
No, I
I've
never
never seen-
saw
I've never
it.
seen-
Good
I've never
movie.
seen that movie.
It's
either.
intense.
Yes.
And I understand why everybody jerks off to that movie because, like, all of those fucking characters are really
Sure.
hot back then.
One of Angelina Jolie's best. And,
And then, so I was looking up, like, I was like, I know this got awards for something. They were all like her getting Best Actress or Best Supporting and everything.
Angelina
That's what,
Jolie.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's her name was good in it too?
Winona?
Yeah, Winona Ryder's very good.
Brittany
in it as well.
Murphy. There's a lot of
It's weird
fucking-
seeing Brittany Murphy.
and
in that, too.
Elizabeth
Yeah.
Motts.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
somebody else is in it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh,
Jared
shit.
Leto.
Jared Leto. Fucking yeah. What the fuck was he doing there? But
I've
like,
never seen it. I'm just looking this up. now.
he is a ridiculous
Yes,
character.
he usually is, though, right? So-
Yeah, I don't know. When he's on screen
Yes.
now, I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
House of
Leto.
Gucci was the most ridiculous.
I want to see that. I still have
You
to
never
see that.
seen
I've
that?
never seen that. I want to see that
Bro,
so badly.
It's so weird seeing him play this character. It's just like, what are you doing, bro? Like,
Yeah,
what is it? Yeah, have you seen him?
I want to
No.
see that bad movie so badly.
But also, it's
He's
just
like a
what are you-
balding, overweight Italian guy. You're like, what are you? Bro?
It's like when fucking Tom
He needs a
Cruise was in
challenge,
that
bro.
fucking one movie and he plays that fucking bald guy.
Oh,
and he's in a
Tropic
fat suit.
Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, oh, he
Yeah.
killed that shit.
Yeah, I like.
I know, but same kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. It is actually.
So
But it's
yeah,
not meant to be that. Well, he's funny in it.
yeah. So I'd never seen that, and that was
Tom
intense. It's a
Cruise.
good movie though, but I was like, holy shit, I did not expect it to be this heavy.
Mhm.
It's Turbo time.
I saw the Trailer Park Boys movie.
Hey.
Yes. How was that?
So okay, I won. I forgot that I entered this contest, right? I just like because I pay for Cine Club. They're like,
You
here's,
win these things all the time, it seems.
I guess.
Though, right?
they're
Yeah,
like, hey,
bro.
do you want a chance to get one of 5 ticket prize packs, whatever, to go see the new Trailer Park Boys movie? And I did. I was like, whatever, it's fucking free. Who cares? So I entered it. It was like a month later that they emailed. The guy tried to call me, and I guess I don't know. I missed it, and it went to voicemail. And he emailed me and said, that was me trying to call you, by the way. This is what it is. Blah blah blah. And I was like, oh shit. And then he said, you just have to like sign a release form. And I was like, what the fuck? And
Did they film you guys?
there was a photographer
Yeah.
there taking pictures because the boys plus Randy and somebody else was there introducing the movie.
Mhm.
So yeah, there was a photographer there just taking pictures of the audience. I'm not even in. Because our tickets were free, they put you way off to the side
Yeah.
on the far side of the theater. So you have like a shit spot as far as seeing the movie, but like
Right.
whatever, free tickets.
Yeah.
I'm not even in the photos.
But they
It
did the
doesn't
Q&A after, right?
matter. No, they didn't.
I thought they were.
They were supposed to. I asked when we got there. I was
Well, they
like,
got too fucked
"There's
up.
a special." No. Well, there was a special table I had to go like pick up our tickets at, and I was like, "There's all these people waiting behind this velvet rope thing off to the side of this table," and I was like, "Are we supposed to wait with this group?" And she
Right.
was like, "No. This is just like if you want to see them when they come out of the green room." And I was like, "Oh, I don't care. I've met them all already."
Right.
So we went and sat down. I've actually met on 2 separate events. I met
Right. You were
Ricky
you're
and
saying
Bubbles,
that.
and yeah, so I was like, whatever, I've had my
Right.
photos. So we went and sat down. It was a long time before they fucking came in, so like maybe they were late showing up or something. Whatever. They came in, they introduced the movie. I filmed that.
Okay. That's cool.
And then whatever, they just did their little bantery bit at the beginning of it. Introduced it. It was fine. It's no Clattenburg production. Like it's sort of like. There's a couple of their movies that are really bad. Like when they tried to stray away from like the found footage style filming and they got like overproduced a bit. You could tell that the quality was changing and it was like, it's losing its charm a little bit.
Mhm.
They sort of have gone back to the way it was, but it's also just like, it's just Bubbles flexing that he can play the guitar. That's like the whole movie. He's like,
Yeah.
I can play music.
And then
also.
Billy Bob Thornton's band was in this.
Yeah.
one, right?
So I also think that the context of how this even came about was like Billy Bob Thornton's probably just a fan of the show, and was like,
That's-
my band is going on
That's
tour.
any of their stuff. I feel like now
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
figure out a
Snoop
big
and
star that's
fucking
like
that comedian guy.
yeah, and then they just bring him in,
Tom
and then they
Green.
center the movie around or the show around that
Yeah.
that character, right? And then they try to make up a story
Yeah.
with that, right?
I think my theory is that they like Billy Bob
Like the
Thornton.
whole thing where Nathan McKinnon, the hockey player, they had him come and try to teach the kids hockey in that one
Oh
episode.
yeah.
And then it had to center around like they had to set that whole thing
That
up.
was just how they built the episode around
Right.
it. Maybe it feels a lot like Billy Bob Thornton was just like a fan of the show and was like, hey, I think it would be funny if we had Bubbles and his band open for us on this tour,
Right,
and then they made a movie about it. That's what it feels like.
right.
It wasn't bad, but I mean, they're kind of beating the franchise
Right.
to death a little bit, and the ending is kind of whack.
They
They're
have
like,
been for a while,
it-
right? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if you even saw they had that one where they went to jail and it was only online. They put it out online. It was like there's this whole
It's all swearing
They
at it's
went to-
behind a paywall
Yeah.
now. So I'm
You know
like,
what? There's a lot of
good.
people too that only know it from the cartoon that came out afterwards too, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot.
I
of
never
people.
even watched
didn't
that. I
watch
was
that.
like, let
I
it
did.
die.
I said, "Fuck it." I
They're
might
trying
as
to
well,
like
right?
squeeze
But
as much out of
they were.
Leahy's recordings as they can. I'm like, just let it go.
They usually, they're just using voice, like the voice.
But it was
from other
fine. It wasn't
snippets.
bad. The fucking tickets were free. I can't complain.
No.
But no, it
And
was
Randy
fine.
is still involved.
Randy's in it,
right?
yeah.
But those
And
kind
he
of
does good.
Canadian
He does
ones,
good in it.
those kind of Canadian
Um,
ones are like that. Like those shows, even like with Leonard Kenny, they're trying to squeeze everything out
But
possible.
Shorzy's good.
Shorzy's awesome.
Yeah.
Shorzy itself, the TV show, but I mean, the whole Letterkenny thing, the skits and stuff,
Right.
they were squeezing it over 12 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen.
So
that
kind of
far.
like
Oh,
watch the
fuck.
movie if you're just like a huge fan of the show.
I would say,
the
yeah,
first
like
place.
it's not bad. Like people that are a fan of the show will probably enjoy
right.
it. I also saw. Okay, so I can't remember if I talked about this on the last episode I was on because it might have been that long ago, or it might have been in between. There was a documentary called Tickled that I watched. Okay, I rewatched.
I think you were talking about it on Late Night Chat.
Okay, yeah, it's
I don't remember.
Possibly.
I don't
Is it
remember.
David Ferrier?
Or I just saw it on your Letterboxd list or
maybe.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I watched that a couple times because I showed it to Levi.
What's that
It was really
about?
funny. It's David Ferrier was like working for whatever fucking media, like he was like a journalist or is a journalist for whatever this media company is that he works for, and he's like just looking for his latest thing to like turn into a story, and he finds these videos of like these tickle teams online.
Tickle?
Yeah, it's
What is
like professional tickling, like
Yeah.
they just tickle each other.
Is
and
this like a fetish though, or
immediately everyone
Yeah.
picks up on it, but he's just like, the play is like he's watching it and he was like, I need to find out more about this, and it's making it seem as though he doesn't understand that the whole thing is a fetish
like
community.
it's harmless? Like
yeah, and it spirals so fucking wildly, like it's so weird. But
Is it funny?
Yes,
I want to see
yes,
that.
but it's also
That sounds funny.
scary. Like it's kind of freaky. Like
the tickling community is freaky.
no. Like
tickling
well, no.
community.
There's like this.
Are you
one,
part of that community? Jay?
This one major
I'm not
figure
ticklish.
that's this kind of mysterious, like
Oh.
anonymous
I'm not.
kind of character under all these aliases, and like
Sounds kind of interesting, actually.
yeah,
it
I don't
sounds
want to spoil the fucking plot.
What's
It's
it
like, if you're
called?
Tickled,
Is it like one of
and
those
it's a documentary, and it's David Ferrier and it's one other person.
people that like when they like
Um,
that eating the food stuff? That
Miles
slurping?
showed that to me, and it was really wild. It was like, you know how Tiger King got so crazy,
Yeah.
and you're like, surely this can't get any weirder. It's
Yeah.
that, but it's
Okay.
it's a 1 hour,
The tickling thing you're talking about?
yeah,
Oh.
like just how
Tickles.
it keeps escalating and getting more and more fucked up. It's like, surely this is the end, and it just gets wilder and
Oh my
wilder. And it's just
That was crazy.
he just like stumbles upon this weird Vimeo site that is just dedicated to these professional sports tickling teams, and it's like, what the fuck? And they're just like tying each other
Tickling
down and
teams.
tickling each other, and it's weird.
Yeah.
But then,
That sounds
yeah,
weird as hell.
he's like chasing the like, I need to find out more about this underground tickling
Right.
community. It's so
That's real?
strange.
the underground
It's real?
ring of
It's
tickling.
still ongoing.
It's a
So what?
documentary.
You got to be able to not laugh to win.
I don't know how you get points. I
Yeah.
don't
Because
understand the
I'm not
sports
ticklish.
component of it.
I'm not.
Supposed to
But then
chase
they
each
wouldn't
other?
hire you. They interview people.
Well, I would win then.
No. That's not how this
Bro.
works.
Okay,
You're
I'll have to
supposed to
check
get
it out.
caught and chased or chased?
It's
No.
like you're getting off to getting
They're
tickled,
just like-
bro. It's like
They're
a
sitting
fetish
on
thing.
top of each other to tickle each other, and somebody else is jerking off to it. Like that's
See, even he doesn't
I
know.
thought squirting was
people
fucked up, but
participating are not the ones getting the sexual gratification.
Right.
It's for
Wow.
other people.
Right.
It's like making bespoke porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway,
that's like a creepy foot fetish.
it's in the same lane. Yeah. So that was a really wild thing that I watched, but that was a while back. I rewatched The Fall. Did we talk about that before?
The Fall? Which one is
No.
that?
Oh, I was sure that you would have known what that is.
No.
It's a Tarsum Singh movie, and it's like
Yeah,
it's
Gen Z.
really good. It's fucking, how do I explain it? It's an older movie, but it's like
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't even know who
it's,
Tarson Sim is. Who's that?
he's like made one other really big. Hold on, I gotta fucking pull up my notes.
Oh, I've seen the poster for this before.
Yeah,
It's
I've
good.
seen this before too.
What
Yeah.
else did he do? Hold on a sec. I need to fucking make sure that.
Oh, Indian filmmaker?
Yeah,
Oh,
The Cell. He's also involved in. Did you guys see that one?
I watched the
So-
cells.
That's a wild
I watched the cells.
So when I got this, it was a combo DVD with this and the.
I
Cell.
never seen this one. No.
It's sad, but it's a really beautiful movie. And
Wow, okay.
I hadn't
Dan
watched it in a
Gilroy.
long time, and I was like, I should rewatch this. But yeah, the premise of
It
it
has
is-
really good ratings
Yeah.
online.
it's
Yeah.
so they the production that went into this, they flew all over the fucking world to make this. He really
Wow.
did not
Wow.
want to fake any of didn't want to do sound stages. Like they went everywhere. They filmed it in so many countries to make it. It's
it
a
about?
really cool movie. I recommend it. It's about this guy who is a stuntman for the silent movie era. Is
Mhm.
like So he's a stuntman for these black and white silent movies, and he injures himself really badly, and he ends up in a hospital. And his girlfriend leaves him for the guy that he is the stuntman for. And so he's just like depressed in the hospital, and this little girl that's also in the hospital with him at the same time is like, "Oh, you're in the movies," and she like comes to like be friends with him.
Right.
But
Sounds like that Ryan Gosling movie that came out, The Fall Guy. Or
oh yeah. So
I wonder if that's a reference to that.
she's there. She's like an immigrant, and she broke her arm because she fell off a ladder while they were picking apples or something. Like she's
Okay.
like a farm worker type, or her family is or whatever. So she's there, and she sneaks out from whatever ward she's staying in to come and get this guy to tell her stories because he's in the movies and he's super cool.
Right.
And the whole time he's just trying to get her to steal drugs.
Oh.
Yeah, but he tells these stories, and then the stories are illustrated as how she's imagining them. Like that's
Okay.
the basis of the movie is like it's her imagination of
Right.
the story he's telling. And so that's like a huge part of the movie is like this whole. It's really cool.
Okay.
recommend
I wrote
that
it
one
down,
very
yeah,
highly.
because it looks, it's got great ratings
It
here
is
too.
sad.
Yeah.
It's sad, but
Oh,
like
I don't mind a sad movie.
I like it a lot. What else?
As long
Did I
as
watch?
it's not like somebody who has a disease.
I rewatched Disturbia. Don't know why. I just felt
Oh, I
like
like that
with
one.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
I like
that's a
that
classic.
movie.
I
I
rewatched
run
that
that
one.
back every now and then.
That's
Actually,
a-
yeah.
and then I rewatched.
Nobody
There
ever
needs
talks
a
about
little-
that
I
movie.
know. I like that movie. I like it.
I think it's a sleeper.
Yeah.
movie.
Have you
Nobody
seen
really-
Have you seen Rear Window, the Alfred Hitchcock
I
film?
don't think so.
It's almost like similar, like
I mixed
premise
it up.
kind of.
I mixed that one up with the
Vertigo?
Johnny Depp one that has window in the title.
Oh,
Secret Window?
Secret Window.
Is that what it's called?
Everybody says Rear Window, and I think of Secret
No,
Window.
Rear
It's
Window
not the
with
thing.
Jimmy Stewart. It's from like
No,
the
I haven't
60s
seen
or
that.
50s. I can't remember.
No, I haven't seen that. And Lucky Number 11, I rewatched that.
I know that I've heard of that movie. What? I never know what that one
That's the
is.
Josh Hartnett one.
Yeah.
Josh
Yeah.
Hartnett. Is that like
And
like a
Bruce Willis.
is that like a Tarantino kind of rip-off type movie? Like
Sorta.
one of those-
Say
yeah,
so?
I think it's kind of like in that vein.
like Smoking Aces and
Yes,
shit like
Yeah.
that.
it's
Yeah.
exactly in that
Yeah,
vein.
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And stuff I want to see. Mickey 17 is getting pushed to me through all fucking avenues of
Bong
advertising.
Joon-ho, yeah, because it's
Yeah.
the same guy who filmed Parasite. Yeah. So that's why it's
So I'm looking forward to that, but that's next year.
heavily
I
anticipated.
feel like I've seen ads for that for like 2 fucking
Yeah.
years. I
Yeah.
don't know
A
why.
lot of people who like really love Parasite are gonna like. They're
Yeah.
really anticipating that film.
Didn't he also do that one on the train?
Train to
Snowpiercer?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah,
He did.
yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Train to Busan.
No,
which is-
I love
That's a
Train to
good movie.
Busan. That's
Yeah,
the
I like
zombie
that
movie, the
movie.
Korean one. Yeah.
That's a good one.
No, Snowpiercer.
That's a good
Snowpiercer's
film.
awesome.
The
That's a
movie.
good film.
Yeah, the movie. Yeah, with
Yeah, Chris Evans killed it.
Yeah,
Oh
he
my
was
God.
great in that
Yeah,
movie.
And the other one I wrote down was Snack Shack, but I think that was because
I heard that's good. I've heard that's
Okay,
good.
maybe that's why
I haven't
had
seen it, but I've heard good things.
I
About
want to
that.
watch
Yeah.
that. And then I just feel like I'm craving some fucking Philip Seymour Hoffman stuff, so I'm gonna start
Nice.
rewatching some old Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Nice.
Well,
I want
that's
to watch
one of your
Connecticut
favorites.
New York again.
I still
I
haven't
need
seen
to
that.
see that. I remember
I
you
haven't seen
recommended
that.
to me that years
Yeah,
ago.
you
I need to
recommended
watch
to me
that.
too.
It's a labor though. Like it is good, and I think it's cool. For some people, it feels very pretentious and very.
Yeah,
Is he one of your
Fucking-
I can
favorites?
see that.
It's like one of my favorites.
No, is Philip Seymour Hoffman one of your favorite actors?
He's up there.
Yeah. Have you seen The Master?
No,
That you should check that one out.
there's a lot that I haven't seen of his that I should check out.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love him even though he's not a main character in Along Came Polly with the Ben Stiller comedy,
I've
and
only
he's like
seen that once.
he is he kills that movie. He totally steals that
When
movie.
he's shooting the basketball.
Yeah.
And so many good
He's
like
so
little
amazing
sneaky
in that way.
roles and some stuff. Like I think I know that this is like not and
Oh, he was one of the greatest.
like Twister as his weird little role.
oh
so
yeah, he was in
good. Boogie
the.
Nights. Like there's.
I
lots
really
of stuff.
like him as like a schmucky like dick guy too. Like he's in
Talented Mr. Ripley.
he's in that,
Yeah.
and he's also good in. And he's in it very little, but the
Scent of a Woman.
yes, thank you, the Al Pacino movie.
I want to
yeah,
watch Capote and.
I've seen Capote.
I've seen Capote
And
too.
I
Actually,
want to
yeah.
rewatch Synecdoche, New York, and yeah,
Never
that one.
seen
That
that,
one is a
so.
labor. And
Okay,
it's long.
that's the one where he's an architect and he's recreating New York inside of a
it's
warehouse or
Charlie
something,
Kaufman
right?
movie. So
Yeah,
it's like,
we were
it's-
talking about Charlie
yeah,
Kaufman last.
yeah.
Last
It's like
episode.
it sometimes it's one of these ones that feels like it needs more than one watch, and it's a long movie,
Yeah.
and it's like it's not like what's that?
I think he also
fucking one?
directed that one too, right, Charlie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
First
think
one.
that was Cloud Atlas that one that everybody
I
was like,
love
this
that
is
movie.
fucking like, but it was complicated,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of got those sort of vibes to it. A little bit.
Okay.
But
I really like that movie. So
It's cool, and it's he does really well in that movie, so I want to rewatch that one. But there's not a lot of people that like it. They feel like it's too much of a labor.
No, he was
Okay.
a really good actor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I have it.
he's been dead for 10 years now.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
crazy.
Yeah.
I actually do have it
That's
on my
great.
watch list because
Yeah.
the last time you mentioned it. Okay, is that it?
That's
Is that
it. Yeah.
me? I just watched a lot of Christmas movies lately because it's
Yeah.
that time of season. I watched Jingle all the way twice in prep for this.
So did I.
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Home Alone,
I only watched it once.
Santa Claus,
And never again.
and then I watched some bad news Christmas movies, so I don't recommend these ones. There's one that
Okay.
Jack Black's in called Dear Santa, where he's basically Satan, not Santa.
Was that
Yeah,
Who Santa
was
really
that
is.
new?
it's
Yeah.
new. It's by
I
it's
saw
by
the-
one of the Farrelly brothers.
Okay.
Oh shit.
But the problem with this movie is, unlike this one, it doesn't know what it wants to be. It's
Mhm.
constantly, it seems like there's like the adult jokes, but not in the same way like Jingle All the Way, kind of just like there's some stuff that's like palatable, but
Right.
like for a whole family,
Right.
or it gets kind of like very raunchy type of jokes, and then the rest of it feels like super cheesy, like Hallmark-esque tone of a
Right.
Christmas movie. It's very weird. It's not very good. I don't suggest checking it out. Even as a Jack Black fan, if you like Jack Black, he's not bad in it. There's a cameo from somebody that makes sense if you've seen him working with other people throughout his career in the movie. But
Interesting.
yeah, not his bandmate there. He's in
If
it.
that's over. I
Craig
think.
Gass. It is over.
Tenacious
Craig
D.
Gass is
Kyle.
also in it. He is, but that's not who I was
Is he?
referring to. He is. Yes.
Oh.
This was filmed before, I think, the break,
Oh, okay, okay.
right? So, anyways,
He's fallen off, I think, Jack. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Jack Black, you think is falling off?
yeah.
Bro, are you saying the Super Mario Brothers movie?
No, but
like
that's the thing. That was part of his run of like when he was very
But you're gonna
popular in the
watch
last
Super-
couple of years.
I saw it.
No,
He's
the
the
new
best
one?
part of that movie. Yeah,
The
the
new
new
one?
one. The one that
Well,
came out last
whatever.
year.
I'm not going to get into my whole opinion about him.
Alright,
About with
My
him and
boy's
Craig
in that
Gass.
one, no?
He turned his back
Kyle.
on a friend over
Kyle
Kyle.
Gass.
Oh, Jack Black did
Sorry.
in real life.
Kyle.
Yeah.
I said Craig.
Yeah.
Isn't
He
my
turned
boy?
his back on his friend.
Kyle.
It's the whole
yeah.
thing. It's a whole
I
thing.
didn't pay
It's
attention.
the full fucking whole Steve Jobs thing.
I love Jack Black, but he has
I
been in
do
some
too.
shit. Like he's been in,
I do too.
I
but
do
I
too.
think he's,
he also has been in movies that look like the poster just looks like a shitty
So
movie. Like
Kyle,
Gulliver's Travels or
very
some shit.
quickly,
Like,
Kyle Gass.
no, thank you.
It was his birthday and they were touring with Tenacious D. He said something about Trump, like basically saying that I wish he got killed when he got
his
shot.
birthday wish was
The
like
shot
next time
attempt-
don't miss.
Jack Black said that.
No,
Kyle
Gass.
did.
Oh,
And then basically he stopped the tour and like stopped being friends with him because
Yeah.
he made this comment
Jack
on
Black-
stage.
Like disconnected from him.
because he said Trump should have been shot.
Yeah.
Or-
But this just happened though this summer.
Yeah, this
So-
is when
so
it
this is
happened.
like-
It was like-
this
it was
recent.
like
Oh, this is a
It
recent.
was like the week that it
yeah.
happened.
Oh,
Yeah.
After the attempt that happened where somebody
Yeah.
tried to shoot him, he said that he wished they didn't miss. He made a
Yeah.
joke about
Yeah.
his birthday wish on stage being that. And honestly, like
Is Jack Black like a
Black
Trumper or
isn't even. No, he's not.
Oh,
But he's in so many big properties
He
now
was,
for
I think he was
Disney.
worried that the Minecraft movie was going to drop him.
He basically dropped his
That's
friend of
right.
like 30
Huh?
years or however long they've been friends and bandmates because of this. Like, I don't know. It's just like
what do you mean he dropped? He said like I'm not.
he
part
made the public
They canceled
statement.
the
They
tour
canceled the
and said that
tour,
he
and
was never gonna-
he's not talking to him.
They're not going to
apparently.
be in projects anymore.
That's well.
Right. So that's why
Gotta
I
protect the
agree with you.
brand.
I don't think that's cool of him to fucking just pull that all of a sudden on his
Yeah,
friend
well, I
for
mean,
that
yeah,
long,
that's
right? I
fucked
mean,
up.
listen,
It kind of reminds
I
me
don't
of that.
I feel like he could have made a statement of like his
Is that what it is?
it's just the whole
What the fuck is
cancel
that?
culture,
Okay.
like.
Oh, yeah,
type
It
of-
reminds me of
Yeah.
that Patton Oswalt thing. Remember when he
Right.
was like, "I don't."
Oh
fuck
my
with
god! I
Dave
took a
Chappelle.
picture of Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. It's like, like,
Yeah,
who cares?
exactly. Patton Oswalt has apologized once for taking a picture with Dave Chappelle after that trans
my
thing
God.
came out, and
The
and
thing
it was like he got caught in a photo with him, and he's
Yeah.
like a friend of his,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, people, I took a photo with Dave Chappelle." Like
Yeah, before that, though, he was saying like how great of a comedian Dave is, and then it's like
that's what I mean. Like,
I feel like Jack could have made a statement of like,
Yeah.
that's he said some shit. It wasn't me. Like, whatever.
right,
I feel like he could have, he
You're
didn't
like,
have-
why
he didn't
don't-
have to go nuclear and be like,
exactly. But that's
no
what
more Kyle anything.
again.
Like,
then we're getting into a whole other.
Yeah,
I
we're
agree
getting-
with that.
we're
I
getting into
agree
the
though. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, that's Dear Santa, not good. Nutcrackers with Ben Stiller was another Christmas movie that I
when
saw.
did that come out?
It just came out like this a couple weeks
I
ago.
saw that. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
being pushed
it-
in.
I thought that's been out for years. That's-
No, it's been streaming.
Sounds like an old movie.
It's okay. It's not that anything special. I watched Gladiator 2 after Max, talked all that crap about it
It's
on the
trash.
last episode.
It's fucking terrible. And you know
I was
this.
looking forward to it. It was it was okay.
so in translation, it was trash.
It's not
Not
making
worth
my
your
top
time.
5 of the year. I'll tell you that much. I rewatched Thief.
Totally unnecessary movie is
Yeah.
what I boil it down to.
They just ran it back.
But
They
I
ran
love
it back.
Pedro
It's
so
like-
much.
He's
Which one?
actually pretty good in it. He's actually
I don't
pretty
think he
good.
did
in it.
anything.
I
Which
think
one?
he did. I think it was
Pedro.
good. Gladiator 2. I didn't. It was all right.
And you
Never
know,
seen
everyone is like jerking off to Denzel Washington really like anything special in that movie?
I
Like,
haven't seen the
He's
first Gladiator
miscast.
though, so
but you think it was miscast?
Yes.
I think the movie should have been about him.
It was
So
a
I think
token.
that would have been better.
No, it wasn't that. It's just I feel like it was like he's bringing the wrong type of Denzel
character-
energy to this.
The character
movie.
didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
He's like the
yeah.
gypsy owner, then he becomes like Commodus. It's fucking
Yeah.
stupid.
And then I rewatched Thief. Of course, the Michael Mann film.
I love that
yeah,
movie.
Yeah,
I was actually
yeah.
thinking about that movie recently because
Yeah, it's good. So
you were talking about, I can't believe you've never selected a Michael Mann movie.
Thief is great. I mean, it's
Well, you've rewatched it?
Yeah.
You've seen it before, yeah.
yeah.
James Caan, awesome.
Yeah, it's his best role, I think.
Great
ever.
music, too.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
soundtrack.
Yeah. Tangerine Dream, yeah. And finally, Interstellar. I rewatched Interstellar.
oh yeah.
I
In
did.
In
I didn't watch
IMAX.
it there,
I
but I
watched
watched
it
it
in
on
IMAX.
my phone.
I still love it, bro. I love this movie, and honestly,
How
in
was it in
IMAX,
IMAX?
it was amazing. I've never seen it in IMAX. Max actually mentioned that they were doing it in IMAX, and I found myself not having. I had to leave. Christine had something going on here at the apartment with some of her friends, like a Christmas thing last week, and
Yep.
I was like, you know what, I gotta find something to do for a few hours, and then I looked up Scotia what they were playing. I seen the IMAX Interstellar thing.
Nice.
When I checked the night before, they had 3 seats left in the theater. The next day in the morning, because I didn't buy tickets that night,
Yeah.
I looked, they had 1 seat left
Nice.
in the second front row.
Oh,
Okay.
Was
so,
that bad?
your neck.
no, I honestly, the screen's so big, you're fine even there. Like, it's great. So I bought it. I bought the last ticket available. And honestly, it was crazy to see like this movie that's obviously been around for a while now. They say it's the anniversary right now. Is it 10th anniversary for this?
10th
Yeah,
anniversary.
yeah. And just to see it with a crowd like that, and some of the people, it seems like they had seen it. This was their first time seeing it in
Nice.
theater too. Obviously, a lot of people that had seen it before, they got the standing ovation clap at the end of the movie.
Nice.
The fact that it was cool. It was a cool experience. And there's a few sequences in the movie that just looked amazing in IMAX, man. Like there's that whole scene where they go on that planet. There's a big tidal wave that's coming. Like,
Right.
that part's crazy. Or the part, like you said at the end, where they're trying to attach. He's trying to attach the ship
Oh,
to that
yeah.
other, the spinning.
Yeah.
Trying to dock the ship.
Yeah. Honestly, I love that movie.
Great Hans Zimmer score. too.
I think we were talking about top 5 Christopher Nolan. I think it's
That's in your top 5?
I think it might sneak in at number 5 for
Yeah.
me. Honestly,
I don't know if that. I've always kind of rated that like it's a great movie. Christopher Nolan has never missed, in my opinion.
Right.
Never. Like, so I think it would, but it would still probably be like, I don't know if it'd even be in my top 8.
I was giving some thought about this after our conversation about it. I probably would go no order right now. I
Yeah.
would say Dark Knight, Oppenheimer. What's the other one that we fucking talked about that I love? I can't believe
The
I'm blanking on-
Prestige.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love The Prestige.
Yeah.
The Prestige, Oppenheimer, Dark Knight, Inception, and probably this Interstellar. Yeah, that's probably my top 5.
I'm so happy that at the top, I wanted to actually see Interstellar, but I just didn't get around to it. But I'm so happy at the top of the year that I got the chance to watch Tenet because they brought it back to IMAX theaters. And
I told you I haven't rewatched that yet.
you should.
I didn't love
you
it the
absolutely
first time.
should because
Yeah.
it's crazy because that movie is like another like second
Right.
watch demanding or whatever.
Right.
And I'm not even gonna lie, I think that is in conversation for one of his best.
Okay,
Like it's totally been turned around.
I
for
have
me.
it. I'm gonna rewatch it.
it's totally
maybe
been turned around.
maybe the holidays.
I
coming up,
I couldn't.
So there you
recommend
go.
it.
I'm looking forward to rewatching Tenet, and I'm looking forward to, as we talked about, Nosferatu. Yeah, that's about it. Honestly, that's it for me. Things I'm looking forward to watching. Maybe some of these recommendations Julie just rattled off here today as well.
No one's mentioning Wicked. Okay.
No.
Nope.
Moana too.
Hold on. I do kind of want to see that. I do want to see Mustafa, and I also want to see. Actually,
Jafar might need
it
glasses.
just reminded me, bro. Sonic 3.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I seen that commercial
Bro,
the other day. I
Sonic
was gonna
is-
ask you about that.
Sonics are way better than they have any right to be. Have you guys ever seen the Sonic movie?
No, I
But
haven't.
wasn't there that corny one?
And I
though,
love
that
Jim
you were
Carrey.
making?
I don't know how.
Carrey is Dr. Robotnik, and he's playing 2 versions of him in this film. He's playing old Robotnik from the future and like current day Robotnik.
I gotta do the
Bro,
go back and watch them.
and Keanu now is the voice of Shadow. I think he's coming in. There's like and
That's funny.
Idris Elba is a
That should be
voice.
fun.
Idris Elba is a voice in there, bro. It's great. Sonic. It's great stuff. I can't wait. I'm
Nice,
looking forward
nice,
to watching
nice.
this.
I gotta check them out.
Honestly, they're actually
seen
I'm
that commercial.
surprised.
That's the first person because you had that one about the first like live plush one or whatever the fucking looked like a weird Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, now,
Ugly
now
Sonic.
it actually looks
Yeah.
decent, right?
Oh, before they
Ugly Sonic.
reanimated
Yeah,
him?
yeah.
Oh yeah, thank God they went
Yeah.
changed that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was not.
But they're in promotion. I'll finish with this here. In promotion for this film, they put out an ugly Christmas sweater that has ugly Sonic on it as the character.
Oh, come on.
And you can win it in a contest, like as they're promoting the movie.
Nice.
You can't buy it outright though. I'm really upset because I would buy that in a
Yeah, no shit.
It's like his ugly face, like on it. It's like an ugly Christmas
That's
sweater.
a great
so-
way to capitalize on
Yeah.
the fuck up and try and make
Exactly.
the money back. That's genius.
That was one
That
of the
is
times,
smart.
the rare
Yeah.
times that the
That is
fans
smart.
won.
I like
right?
that.
That
So,
marketing guy needs
that's
an
right.
award.
Ugly
all-
Sonic.
All right. What I think that's it for today, though. That's all we were looking forward to watching, what we've been watching lately, guys. But before we end out the show, of course, we got Julie with her
Nice.
next announcement. Julie, it was technically her next pick, but instead, I think in lieu of that, she is chosen to bring on some guests. Actually, I think other than Christine, she was our first guest, I think, on this new format of the show. Yeah, this is really exciting. I'm glad to make.
So is this your pick or is this their pick? And they're kind of like giving it to
I
them.
co-signed their pick.
okay?
Oh, it's their pick.
Okay.
Kinda
It's
like.
their pick.
Okay. And
Um,
whose pick is this?
This is the fan club's pick.
Okay.
I referred to during the
Fan
episode.
club, yeah.
The fan club is Nadine and Miles, who are big fans of the show, big fans of JT's in general.
As they should be.
They think he's the most entertaining man on the planet.
That's it.
Dos Equis.
They love the show. They're also just big movie buffs.
Yes, you've said this.
We have
before,
movie
yeah.
night. I have movie night with them.
Nice.
So yeah, I left the question to the floor the other day because I know that Miles has got a lot of fun favorites, and I had a couple that I was like, these would be good picks. Like they're fucking hella weird, and it would be really entertaining for
Right.
JT to give commentary on.
Right.
But we actually went with they went with one of Miles's favorite movies.
Okay.
Like big comfort movie for him.
Okay.
Okay.
And I probably will have to give context for it.
Okay.
It's from 2014. It's called Giuseppe Makes a Movie. Anybody?
Never heard
I
of it.
heard something.
Never
about
heard of this
Giuseppe
before.
thing.
No.
All right. Let me give you the little synopsis here because I want to make sure I do justice.
This might
to
be
the
a new one because
explanation.
every movie that we've done so far, I've seen at least once. Like
I
every
know.
single one. So
If
interesting.
anybody, I was sure that like if anybody was gonna have seen it, I thought maybe Max.
Here's
No,
the
I've
thing.
never
This
even heard of
show's
it.
gonna eventually
Max
get
has
into some
seen-
weird things.
yeah,
Max has
eventually.
seen
Yeah.
Titan. He's also seen Tangerine, which were
Me?
other ones. Yeah.
I've never seen Titan.
Oh, well, you knew about Titan.
I know about
He was
Titan.
aware of Titan.
Right.
Not aware of this movie at all.
No,
though.
no.
Okay.
Okay.
I have
so
seen. I do love Tangerine.
It's like Tangerine's a great movie.
Great Christmas movie.
I don't
too.
think it. That's why I said we should do it. But then, yeah, I think that puts.
I would have been totally down for
JT would have been
Tangerine.
in a really awkward position. I feel like it might have been a little.
No,
hard
that
to-
would have been classic. Bro. JT's reaction on
About a
Tangerine.
trans, I think, sex worker, essentially, right?
A black one, too.
yeah.
Two black ones. It's awesome. That movie's awesome,
Really good movie.
and it's got
And
great
it's
heart.
filmed
It's
on
got
an
great heart.
iPhone.
Yes.
The whole thing's filmed on an iPhone.
It's got
a
great
shot
heart,
thing.
too.
Oh,
I'm
well,
not
now-
saying otherwise. This is like
Now I'm wondering what
it's-
kind of fucking movie they're gonna have put me in.
Oh, it's fucking.
What is it
great.
called? Giuseppe Makes a Movie.
Giuseppe Makes a Movie. Giuseppe Andrews is an actor.
already
this
sounds
is
racist.
It's a documentary.
Yeah.
The Wops.
Oh, nice.
I want to give you the correct
You can say
designation.
that.
Holy shit! I've never heard of this.
Yeah. Okay. So from 2014,
This guy's deep in
he's
it, bro.
made Giuseppe Andrews is an actor, was an actor, child star
Okay.
from
Oh,
Detroit
that's
Rock
what
City.
you said. It was a
Did
child.
you guys
star
see
thing.
Detroit Rock City?
Yes, I have seen that movie.
He's in Detroit Rock City
He's
with
one of the four guys.
he's
or-
one of the four guys, I
Okay.
believe, with Sam Huntington
Yes.
and fucking
guy from Terminator.
Terminator guy
Yeah.
who is not doing well either,
No,
and one other guy. So Giuseppe Andrews
I like
is one
Detroit
of those,
Rock City.
one of those four
actually.
guys.
Okay.
So the guy that directed this also has had something to do with Detroit Rock City. I don't know if he's a writer or producer, but he was also involved somehow. So Giuseppe makes independent movies
Okay.
in the trailer park where he lives,
Okay.
and it's just like a mini doc about him and his movies and his process and all the people around him. And it's only an hour and a half. It's not like a huge long watch, and it's a really fun movie.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you seen it
Um,
before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay.
I know exactly what we're about to get into.
Okay, nice.
What we're looking at?
I'm looking forward.
That's the one. Yeah. So it might be. You might have to look on.
You
Yeah.
might have to
You might have
pirate it.
to
Yeah.
find somewhere to stream.
Okay.
Because I don't know if it's available.
You might have to
anything.
sail the high seas and
Nice.
You might have
pirate
to
it.
Yeah.
go
Real
to the Pirate
touching
Bay.
and quirky.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Who's the director? Hold on.
Adam Rifkin?
Adam Rifkin, who had something to do with Mouse Hunt, I think.
Oh, I like Mouse.
I
Hunt.
hate
I
that movie
think-
because I hate mice.
I
have a
Mouse
thing
Hunt.
about mice and rats, and I
That
can't watch that shit.
Where's the?
That's where you draw the line.
I draw the line. Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck that. Fuck
yeah.
that.
Not no Halloween masks, but
Where
yeah.
No.
is-
Like I'll scream.
I liked.
That's a movie I will not watch for this part. Like I will not.
No,
Like,
I'll
no.
dip out on that.
I'll dip out on that one. That's the one where I exit
Dang,
stage
dude.
left on that one.
I like that movie.
I do too.
No, fuck that movie.
Exit stage left on Mouse Hunt. Why would anybody think that?
I don't know. Yo, you're freaking Jingle all the way. God
This
knows
is a
what's going on.
Christmas classic. Don't talk shit about my
Don't
pick.
think. Okay, but like
Don't
you don't.
talk
No,
shit about my
no.
pick.
But don't go around like.
Yeah.
Mister,
I would-
there's no such thing as bad movies over here.
So-
Remember this comment this guy was going
Yeah,
on the
no
other day?
shit.
Or
Yeah.
guilty
Just bad
pleasures.
TV shows.
Yeah.
Adam Rifkin was a writer
That's
for Mouse
uninteresting.
Hunt. He was
Boring.
also a writer for Small Soldiers.
Okay.
Holy shit, that movie
Comes full circle.
He did
really does.
the screenplay for Zoom. Anybody remember that one?
Uh-oh.
Is that
Tim
like?
Allen is the superhero.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the
Animated.
team. There's
Animated
like a
one.
team
No,
of them.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
No, it's
No,
live
it's a
action.
lot. There's like a
He
team
was
of
like
kids.
a super fast guy, and then was a
Oh,
team
I've
of
never
kids.
seen that.
Yeah. The rest of these I don't super know anything.
So Giuseppe Makes a Movie is the next pick, and
Giuseppe.
the fan club Miles and Nadine will be coming on as
They will be
guests.
on,
Okay.
and the
Looking forward to that.
idea is hopefully we will record it in person.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we can go to Leslie's and
Yes.
record it in person so that
That-
they can meet so that JT can meet his adoring fans.
Holy shit, they're about to be super disappointed.
I'm really looking
They're
forward to this.
really
No.
excited
Yeah,
about it.
so am I.
Yeah.
Okay, this is great. So I did want to
There's the
mention.
fuck out of me.
So that's the next pick, everybody. That's going to be our first show in the new year. It'll probably come later in January because we're taking some time off, and you have this show to look forward to. Our favorite movies of the year, which will be dropping after this one in between Christmas and New Year's. So look forward to that, and look forward to this episode in the second half of January in the new year when we come back with episode 52 by then for that one.
Yeah.
And
What's
yeah,
51?
well, that would be our favorite movies of the
Oh,
year.
you're gonna
Yeah,
count that as
that's
okay.
Yeah, or maybe I won't count it as 51. Maybe it'll just be its own special. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out in the chat tomorrow when it's an argument for that.
I'll sort it out in the
That's right.
HR meeting.
Oh my god,
Me
Jay.
and Max will argue back and forth.
No,
Yeah.
do whatever you want,
JT
Nico.
will
I
come in
gotta...
at the end and be like,
New
"What
Year's
the fuck are you
resolution,
girls
less
arguing
arguing."
about in here?"
No. You know what? It's not arguing.
Yeah,
it's
it's not,
creative.
it's
It's a
not.
creative dispute.
Yeah, I know what it
You
is.
see it 4 hours later when it's already resolved.
Yeah, he'll throw his 2 cents in like later on. Yeah. there
Yeah,
you
now
go.
I just stuck the thumbs up and down and
Yeah.
fuck you fingers.
But,
and stuff like
but
that.
yeah.
God bless whoever invented that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
honestly, I don't have to say shit, just react.
Yeah. That's
But thank you once again to everybody. Thank you guys for coming down to record this
Thank you for
episode. This has
having
been a
us.
lot of fun.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas
job,
to all. A
Happy
good
New Year.
Happy New Year.
I didn't get a
Whatever you
chance.
celebrate out there, there you go. And we'll see you in the new year for that
Feliz Navidad.
that pick. Giuseppe Makes a Movie with
Mhm.
Nadine and Miles. And we'll actually be having more guests in the new year as well. So stay tuned. I have talked to other people as well.
Nice.
So we have some other guests to look forward to. And hopefully some other types of shows and stuff too. I know we've been batting around some ideas about stuff. And so make sure to check us out in the new year and watch our video of our favorite movies of 2024.
Nice.
All right, everybody.
Before we sign off, though, Nico, can we get a one last time Arnold? It's turbo time, like,
Oh.
please.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
It's turbo time. There you go. That was bad. That was bad. Hold on.
One more.
I'm not used to saying it's turbo time. Want me
Just
to
say
do-
any Arnold thing,
All right,
any
all right.
Arnold phrase.
Put the cookie down now.
That was good.
Awesome.
I'm not a pervert. All right, guys. All right. See you next time. Thanks, everybody. I like that. Good stuff. All right.
Weeks. No.
Oh man.
Dun, dun, dun,